Yo, Thought Warriors. What is up? Higher Learning is on. It's Ivan Lathan Jr.
And it's me, Rachel and Lindsay.
We got cousin Logan in the house today. It's All-Star. So Logan Murdock is in the crib. What's up, Logan? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's happening with you, bro?
I'm really scared because last time I was on here, you talked about shaving your balls. And I think that's why,
Logan.
I think that's why I'm back here.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Because I need to be far away from that.
I mean,
but I'm
But I'm out here.
Logan's in the designated third co-host seat right there. We got the shot back there. But the reality is, I wasn't even thinking about that. Now I'm thinking about it.
Now, see, Logan, you're going to, you know how it's in the back of his mind. It will, now something sexual will.
It's not sexual. What's sexual about shaving your balls, though? It's not sexual?
It's not sexual,
you
but
feel sexy
it
after?
is.
Okay,
it's
bro.
You do?
Personal. I don't know. I don't know what the word is.
This is my thing. And once again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this.
How about not any?
But my thing is, he brought it up.
I apologize. I didn't mean to do this. I didn't mean to do this.
He brought it up.
Okay, Logan, we're so happy you're here.
But here's the thing,
happy you're back.
Why?
Logan, why are you back in town?
Why do we hold it all in? Why can't we just talk about
We can.
Me and Rachel.
But it's just not right now.
Excuse me.
Why?
Excuse me. Me and Rachel are having a conversation right now.
You know what you're doing right now.
But she asked me a question. You cut us off.
You asked me about you.
He
brought up shaving
actually,
and I wanted to get into the conversation, but now there's a pandering.
Well, the people want to know. Logan's here, cousin Logan. They want to know what you in town for.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
What you in town for, Logan?
Talk about it, Logan.
I'm here to see the sights. No, I'm actually here, for All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Quick plug: I am going to be judging the G League dunk contest at the Convention Center. So tap in. Me and Howard motherfucking Beck on Real Ones that we do twice a week. That's enough promo, I think, but that's why I'm here, just to do some work and be here in Los Angeles and see
the G League dunk contest is going to be
Rachel,
better.
Who I think is from you from Dallas, right?
I am.
Dallas?
I am from Dallas.
Okay,
I am from Dallas.
I didn't know that.
That's okay. I didn't know you were from the Bay.
Yeah, Rachel.
Off mic.
The degree to which Rachel doesn't know her coworkers is stunning.
I know Logan. I don't know all the details.
She actually went. So Logan, whose very existence is steeped in Bay. Y'all think I'm Baton Rouge, McKinley High. Logan is Bay to the Bay to the Bay. Rachel goes, she's talking to Logan about the Super Bowl, and she goes, "How familiar are you with the Bay?" That's legitimately
I said San
saying,
Francisco, to be fair.
No, you said the Bay. You said the Bay.
She said, "quote I don't know how." She said, "quote I don't know how familiar you are with the Bay, but I was."
It's nuts. It's nuts.
I was nuts.
It's nuts. It's a nuts. It's a nuts situation. Okay, let's get into the show. We have Symone Sanders and Eugene Daniels second on the show today.
Yeah.
New podcast, Crockett. It's presented by MS Now. It's on all platforms and stuff like that. We're going to talk to them about some things later on. These are two individuals who are very adept at talking about and really distilling information about politics and politicians, because they work with so many.
In an entertaining way.
But we're going to do quick hitters. First up, Donnie, where you at? Let's talk about pillow fights.
Let's talk about pillow fights, and Ja Rule versus G Unit is back in the culture. It was reignited on a Delta flight when Ja Rule was confronted by Tony Yayo and Uncle Murda. It could have been the other way around, but it led to Ja Rule allegedly throwing a pillow at Yayo before being rebooked off the flight. I'll play a little bit of their back and forth and then get y'all's reaction.
Suck ass Ja Rule on the
plane. Suck ass up. Don't play that.
Did you get heart palpitations? Do it again. Oh my gosh, we got to bring that sound into the podcast.
Hey. See, that to me shows you guys that y'all don't give a fuck about me. Yeah, y'all don't give it. Y'all triple. I can't hear the triple boom. I can't hear the triple boom. No,
I'm so glad The Bachelor doesn't have a theme song.
I can't hear the triple boom, bro. Don't. I can't hear the triple boom. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Okay, Donnie, y'all be doing shit like this on purpose. I know. By the way, I know that I'm the underdog on this pod. Okay? Everybody else is in the bag.
I'm gonna be like a lie. When I heard the 3 tubes, I was like,
play the triple. Don't play the triple boom. Don't play the triple boom. Matter of fact, I'll let y'all know something. There's a lot of people out there, right? Just to let y'all know this. When I see like my friends and stuff like that, people that I know, and they do like a spot on TMZ, I mute them for a while.
So it's wrong for them to do that?
It's not wrong. I don't want to see it. And so if I see you... Why don't you
just mute TMZ?
I did. But I can't mute the whole thing, because like, you know, sometimes Don will pop up on there, sometimes other people will pop up on there. I see it for a little while, mute you for a little while. It's a little bit.
I have an interview next week on TMZ.
Oh, that's nice.
I got a question.
You gonna mute
for
me?
the panel.
No,
I don't have one.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
wouldn't have a
kidding.
problem
I'm
with
just kidding. I don't.
I got a question for the panel real quick. And you guys are obviously like Oodle's more famous than I am, right? So how do you guys deal with like being online while muting shit about you guys online?
I don't mute anything about me.
I don't mute anything.
You online?
No, I don't mute anything about me. I don't mute anything about me. But
I like to stay kind of tapped into what people are saying about me.
Yeah, you like
I don't read comments, but I just like want to be in the know.
I want to be a part of communities where things are being discussed. So like when I used to go on the Reddit, I thought that was going to be, there was going to be a part of the community. We talk, we do all kinds of things like that.
And it wasn't.
Well, it's there, Reddit. And so they actually, I feel like being on a Reddit where about your podcast is, now think about it, is lame as fuck because that's them. They should be able to express themselves and talk about you, what they like, what they don't like, all of that stuff. I did go on the Big Picture Reddit.
Oh,
like earlier this week.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Nah, they fucking hate me.
Really?
Yeah, they hate me.
Are you on the Big Picture that often?
I'm not on. They like when I'm on the show.
Okay.
But my entire One Battle After Another, the whole thing, that's their movie, man. That's the One Battle After Another is like the film bros. That's their Kobe.
Did you see it, Logan?
What?
One Battle After Another?
No.
Yeah. So
was that like the new title of the Ja Rule, Tony Yayo?
No.
Is
this
that
is like,
called?
but that is basically what's going on.
Okay.
So that's
because in that case, yes, I watched that.
That's they Kobe. So you can't really say. So they got mad. I was talking about Kobe. I went on there and said, "What's up?" The film bros.
Oh, film bros. She said, okay.
I love it. Whatever. Back to this, Rachel. Do you know where this comes from?
No.
Hold on. Wait a second. This is very interesting to me. Rachel, $1 billion on the line.
Damn.
$1 billion on the line. I want you, to your best ability, to talk about why Ja Rule, Tony Yayo, and Uncle Murda have beef. It's a billion of. If you can explain this, if you can give the broad strokes, you get $1 billion.
From who?
For what? Don't fight the hypo. Okay. If you broad strokes, you can get $1 billion.
Well,
come on.
My guess would be that Tony Yayo and Uncle Murda are attached to 50.
We on
okay.
Well,
G Unit,
yes.
Yeah.
Cooking with grease, Rachel.
Okay.
And so we know that Ja Rule and 50 have beef, right? Like it still exists.
Yeah.
So so I imagine that it started years ago for whatever. I don't know why that beef started, but I would imagine that that's where it comes from. Years later, they haven't gotten over it. 50 still on Ja, still on him. So if G Unit or anybody affiliated with sees Ja Rule is on site.
Guess what? Rachel Lindsay just made $1 billion, guys. That's all you got to know. Now we could get into whose kid got smacked, whose house got shot up.
Damn.
Oh shit, yeah.
And we're working with pillows?
Hold on, wait a second.
That's what happened. And we're doing pillow fight.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this.
Ja Rule.
Here's the thing about this. This is we're not gonna do a whole beef documentary, DVD type of situation, but this is real shit between these crews that goes back a long way. I will say this though. We'll say this. Ja has come out and apologized, or not apologized, but basically apologized for not to Uncle Murda and to Yayo, but for putting himself in that position. Said, I'm a grandfather, somebody that wants to move on and live a positive, healthy life. I should not put myself in that type of situation, right?
Who threw the pillow?
They say that Ja threw it. Okay. This is my thing. I get that all of this is really real. And that, and there's been real shit that has happened and blood that has been spilled over this. I really am wondering right now, though, despite all of that, man, how the fuck long can we do shit like this? And when I say we, I'm not putting this on me. I ain't got shit to do with this. But you mean to tell me it's so up right now in this situation that we gonna have these three men who all of them in hip hop, I have a lot of respect for. That type of situation's going down in Delta 1.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like
in first class.
Just we can't sleep, lay down, and then if you want to get busy, get busy. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Just like I saw that and I actually felt bad about it. I understand. I just feel bad that you have to hold on to that type of negativity for that long. I get not wanting to fuck with nobody, not wanting to be around nobody. This has been going on for such a long time. I would love to see, and I think a lot of people would love to see some kind of way to be able to let this shit go, man. I don't know. I get it. Logan?
First of all, it was just hilarious that it has devolved into a pillow fight on first class. I would be fucking pissed if I'm just trying to chill and, have my flight to New York or wherever. And I'm just chilling. I'm about to, got my pillow. I'm about to fall back. And I just see 3 dudes out here just like filming each other and throwing pillows and stuff. Part of me, like as a child, I'm like, the inner child in me is like, this is like crazy because this is like what the manifestation of this beef has become. But the other part of it that I just think about, like in terms of like how this gets resolved, I think a real a model for all of these parties is what happened between Gucci and Jeezy, right? Where they can both exist in the world and not necessarily have to go at each other all the time. But I think that's just the media market and the media world that we're in right now, right? Where life with social media, life has become like the biggest reality show, no matter what, right? Like as soon as this ends, Tony Yayo is getting on with Vlad TV, and then like they're leaking stuff to TMZ about videos and just trying to get ahead of the narrative for people on the internet, where this all started as like we all just trying to get to wherever we're trying to get to, and it's just evolved in that. There was just so many places that I could take it, but I think that they honestly should just be adults and kind of just, we got beef. It is beef, but like when we see each other, we don't gotta necessarily like fight each other. We just like live in the world. I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me.
The deal is like, I get that the beef is serious. I understand the beef is serious.
Yeah.
Bullets have flown, all kinds of things happen. The beef is serious. I understand that. But don't the healing have to be serious too? Like to me, I get it, man. It's a bunch of people that's gonna listen to this and be like, Van don't understand street shit. Van don't understand. Hey, got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got the whole thing, right? Y'all don't understand. Like if it's a serial killer in my neighborhood, I'm gonna call the police, right? I'm not street. Like, I'm not, and I don't like the cops. But I'm not street. But what I'm saying is, I get that we take the beef serious. That we understand it is real shit why people don't like each other. My question is, do we take the healing serious? Is it serious to heal? Is it serious to get over it? Is it serious to move past it? How serious is that? Can we set aside some seriousness for that part of it?
I agree with you.
We get old.
But when you talk about it and I think of G Unit, I think of 50. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't let anything go.
He doesn't.
So I think that conversation almost has to be directed to clearly the person who is the face of it, who has had the most success from the group, who seems to be, I don't know about that part, but just seems to be like the leader of it. And he is constantly not letting things go and trolling people, not even to the point of just holding it on internally, but making a public display of it all. So like your question is well warranted, but it's like it also needs to be directed at, because like we don't necessarily have this conversation when we see 50 do something on social media where he's constantly doing stuff. I mean, I'm glad that the Diddy documentary came out, but I'm just saying it was also a part of him just holding on to stuff. But he's constantly doing this. So I think it's a bigger conversation to have within,
I totally agree.
To have within the community. But also it's with this too, it's like I didn't even know about the part about leaking stuff to the media and trying to get ahead of a narrative, which is almost also like nobody's even really talking about G Unit like that or Ja Rule. And so like for this to be the conversation that we're talking about, or you're trying to leak more information and bring more attention to it, is wild to me. But just the entire setup of it all, right? You touched on it when you said Delta One. You guys aren't in the streets. It's not that life. You are riding in It's better than first class. In Delta One, in lie flats, where seats are several $1,000s, and you're bringing in so it's like, what are we fighting about? Like you've elevated to a certain level. You are clearly doing better for yourselves than when you started in all of this, and you're gonna argue in Delta One and fight with pillows. That's an L right there. And the second L is the fight was so intense, Ja Rule had to rebook his flight.
Well,
that's a whole nother thing. You missed the flight.
So this is why I'll say to all of that. Number one, once again, we talked about it earlier before we got on here. If I see something from TMZ, I'll mute it. Right? Like if I see something from, why will I do that? The reason why is this. When I got fired from TMZ went out of their way to make me look like a rampaging white boy choking thug.
They did.
It was like me, whatever happened, all of that stuff, it is what it is. But everybody knows that that's not me. And I felt a significant amount of betrayal from a place where everyone knows me and they still went that route. That is what it is, okay? Like, the healing doesn't even have to come from not liking somebody. The healing doesn't even have to come. Sometimes the healing is knowing how to comport yourself in a way that you don't allow yourself to get triggered. Like, healing is, hey, there go Rule, there go Murda, there go Yayo. We on the plane. Fuck it. Even if you take a video and post a fucking video. But all of that tells me that them feelings are still live, right? And look, it's all kinds of shit behind it. It's shit where people then allegedly been hit with bullets, and there's all kinds of shit behind it. I get it. I understand it. But at some point, man, you can't live in 2000, 2001, 2003 no more. You just can't do it.
I have a question. What do we think about just like, there's also a version of this where, you know, when you are in the public eye, like you want to continue to be in the public eye, especially if being in the public eye is your business, right? And the name of the business is keeping the spectacle going for your brand, right? How much do you think of that is playing a part in this, right? Because as soon as this happens, like Tony Yayo's, like I said, going to Vlad TV to talk about it. His whole brand over the last 2 years has been very entertaining, but like let's talk about the good old days. Let's talk about eating duck in Morocco. My question is, how much do you think this is also a version of that, where we're just trying to just keep the spectacle going, because that's how we get more attention for ourselves. That's how we, 50 is the head of this, and he has been honest in saying that, sometimes he uses beef just to, market himself, and like even beef with others, whether it's real or not, to market himself. How much do you think that played a part in keeping just the spectacle going, so everybody gets more attention for whatever their business is? Or how much do you think that played a part into this?
That's definitely a part of it. That's that's a huge part of it. I will say that even though you can acknowledge that that's a part of it, and also acknowledge that it's really not an explanation for how fucked up that looked. Like, man, there are a lot of I know people dine out on it. I know this is rich coming from me with my history and my past, but man, dog, we don't have time for 50 Murda and Yayo in first class right now. We don't, man. And like when you see Ja Rule come out and say, "Yo, that's not how I want to be," I respect that. Like, I respect that. I honestly hope that even if this animus lasts forever, that they can get in a situation where they're not so triggered by everything that's going on.
Yeah, you hope so.
Hopeful. Casey Wasserman, are you aware of this?
I have been looking at it. Yeah.
Donnie, say something about Casey Wasserman, who to get into the story, Donnie.
In that huge 3 million something page dump of Epstein files, they show that Casey Wasserman, who is a powerful entertainment and sports executive and head of the Wasserman Talent Agency, exchanged emails with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell years before her conviction. In response to this revelation, artists including Chaperone and Orville Peck have publicly cut ties with Wasserman's agency or called for his resignation, saying that they can't be represented by a company led by someone linked to those documents. Wasserman has not, though, been accused of any crimes.
So it looked like he was fiending for some Ghislaine. It looked like his thing was more with Ghislaine.
Yeah, it was, but it doesn't matter. People are still upset.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, hell no.
People
Orville Peck. I'm looking at Orville Peck. I don't think I knew Orville Peck. He got a mask on. He the Lone Ranger?
No, he's no, he's not the.
He looked like the Lone Ranger to me. There go Orville Peck, right? He got the white hat. He got the mask on. He's widely known for often wearing a mask and not showing his face publicly.
Yeah. Country singer. Yeah.
He left. He said he can't fuck with a chaperone. Left. A lot of people are leaving. They're not fucking with Wasserman like that.
Yeah, they're not. But I think the bigger story is like Casey Wasserman and his ties to the Olympics, and people are upset. You know, obviously anybody's name who's mentioned, you know, it causes people to raise an eyebrow. And then when you dig into how is your name mentioned, and no, in the files that we have so far, his name isn't mentioned directly to Jeffrey Epstein, but it is to Ghislaine Maxwell, who we know is serving time in prison for sex trafficking. That is not the subject matter of their emails. It's the two of them together, which he was married at the time, but it's still this link, right? It makes people, you know, maybe assume facts that aren't there, or it at least causes people to say, well, what are we not seeing? You know, it opens the door for, well, what wasn't in the email? How long did you guys talk? What kind of, you obviously talked in other ways outside of email, just you can tell that from the way of the conversation. So how long did this relationship last? What, you know, like who else was involved? What things were you doing when you were hanging out with her? We know what she's about, but it just leaves the door open. And I think that that's the problem that people have. I think the problem also people have is that there are Los Angeles politicians who are calling for him to resign from the LA 28 board in regards to the Olympics. And he is not. You know, he said he deeply regrets the communications he had with Ghislaine Maxwell, but he has not offered to step down. He has not said anything in regards to his company, which leaves the employees and the company itself having to deal with this backlash and losing clients and losing brands and business and all of that. And so I think people are like, we want to see more from you. And people are saying they're kind of holding the LA 28 board to a certain standard and saying there are all these prominent people in business and in sports and entertainment that are a part of this who are backing Casey Wasserman because they're not calling for him to be removed from the board, which, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
So one of the emails, this is in 2003, says, Casey, I will be coming back to New York.
Let Logan read it.
Logan, you want to read this? Read this email. Well, we don't have the email for him.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, Casey, I will be coming back to New York tomorrow late afternoon. I shall be wearing a tight leather flying suit. P.S. Whilst in New York without me, what would you like to do? What time would you land? I think of you all the time, so what do I have to do to see you in a tight leather outfit? I'm in New York tonight. You're not. What am I to do? XOXO. Okay, so look.
Who wrote that? Ghislaine?
Ghislaine wrote that,
Ghislaine.
and then Wasserman hit back.
Sorry.
So a lot of people are saying that is evidence that Wasserman was actually looking not just for a little fun time with Ghislaine Maxwell, but a little fun time maybe with some of the people that Ghislaine Maxwell could provide to him, because it seems clear there that he said, hey, you're not going to be here. I'm going to be there. You're not going to be there. What am I to do? Like, what's going to happen? And then she kind of answers back in kind. People are thinking maybe in some sort of way he wasn't just seeing Ghislaine Maxwell, but then also was taking advantage of the services that she
leaves open for interpretation.
You guys should know that he runs the Wasserman Agency. We've talked about this before, but he is a legacy at this. He founded Wasserman, but like his grandfather Lou Wasserman is a gigantic name in talent management, and this is one of the Los Angeles elites. The story is interesting for me for two reasons. Number one, we've talked about the Epstein class and the blowback that will come from being a part of this. There's a hesitancy there that I'm seeing from a lot of different people. Peter Attia, who is a wellness doctor, who also has had close ties to Epstein, was supposed to have a new job, a new role with CBS. And while that role and that job after these files seems to be in some sort of peril, you also see Barry Weiss and the people over at CBS a little hesitant to make that move. Consequences as it relates to being involved, near, wrapped up into this whole thing, they're slower to come than people might think that they are. Like, to your point, there haven't been any new cases brought, right? At least as of yet. There's a whole bunch of talk about what these unredacted files are going to mean. And even socially, we've identified a lot of people that were in this world, but nothing's happened yet until now. You're seeing major, some smaller things have happened, but you're seeing major talent, major stars move away from Wasserman and his group, so I don't want to be involved with them anymore. And you're seeing the town, at least partly, put the LA 28 Olympic Committee in traction about their connection to him. I think once a move like this is taken and somebody actually pays, that the floodgates could be open for accountability for a lot more people that had connections to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
And I think that's the hesitation that
I agree.
You know, it's like once one person goes down or once someone folds in regards to holding someone accountable, then it's like fair game for anyone else, which is a crazy thing to say. Because at the end of the day, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with, I mean, Wasserman's name is, it's on the agency, you know, that he might lose clients or whatever, but I don't think it's going to completely take away from what they're doing over there or take the business away. But he was so involved with the bid to get the 2028 games and led a successful campaign and is so behind, you know, as the chairman overseeing the organizing, the planning, the financing, like of the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games, that it's almost, I'm sure the board is like, how can we remove him when he led this campaign to get it here? He's been overseeing everything. They're looking at the business of it all and are hesitant, to the point that you're making, about removing someone or him with that kind of power, which goes back to how the people that are being named are all in this certain class of people.
Steve Tisch, right now, the co-owner of the Giants, under a tremendous amount of pressure, particularly because it seems as if they're not just people like Wasserman who had close ties, were involved with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but then there are also people who have lied about the degree to which they were close to them.
Sure.
Steve Tisch seems to have clearly lied about what he called a sort of brief relationship that he had with Jeffrey Epstein. It looks as if the new drop shows Steve Tisch sort of giving Jeffrey Epstein advice, right? And you have him, and then you have another gigantic liar, Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is a fucking liar, guys, okay? Howard Lutnick is on record, this is a member of Trump's cabinet, is on record saying that he didn't want to have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein after a certain time. And we know now from emails that is a lie.
Yeah.
So the question is he lying to protect his reputation because we know all of this? I'm sure that that's a part of it. Or is there a deeper and more fundamental relationship between Lutnick and Epstein, between Tisch and Epstein, that these people don't want to talk about? Is the nature of the relationship what they don't want to talk about, and not just specifically that there was a relationship? Because remember, after the late 2000s Jeffrey Epstein sweetheart deal given by Alex Acosta, there's not a lot of reason for anyone to have had association with him unless they didn't give a fuck about it. I will say this. There's a double-edged sword in podcasting around this too. For some reason, Joe Rogan is platforming guests, maybe because he's had so many people from the Epstein class on his podcast. Joe Rogan is platforming guests who are doing a soft shoe here. They're sort of explaining why the Epstein situation is different than people might have said that it was. They're doing a whole deal here. It's like a really interesting conversation that he just had on his pod where this guy is talking about how girls sweeten deals, and some of even the underage girls. That's a thing that exists in other cultures, and you got to consider that happened on Joe Rogan's show. I will say this though, if you read the new files, there seemed to have been in 2016 or 2017 a direct effort from Epstein and the people around him to get to Joe Rogan. Like, we want to have dinner with Joe Rogan. We want to hang out with Joe Rogan. We want to do all of this stuff. It looks as if, and I just have to bring this up, that Rogan did research on Jeffrey Epstein and said no. Mm-hmm. There was another comic who did go to one dinner, and then after the dinner went, hey man, this was cool, but I can't fucking be around you. Mm-hmm. There are people to say, and for whatever bizarre reason that Rogan is, I don't know if he's working on behalf of the president, or I don't know if he's working on behalf of Elon Musk or whomever that might be involved in that, whatever reason that they're doing the deal on the podcast, it seems like it's I don't have any ambiguity about what's going on there. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're trying to soften the blow for this group of people. But there are people, and he seems to have been one of them, that were offered entree into this world and said no.
Yeah.
So that just makes everybody else look worse.
Yeah.
That just makes everybody else look. There are some people that went, nah, not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I mean, you're right. When you talk about, are you lying because of the reputation, or are you lying because there's something to cover up? I think that when you bring up a Joe Rogan, or you bring up even a Katie Couric, who went to dinner and talked about, and I think she publicly talked about this before, but like, it's in the files, how weird it was. And then was like, I don't want to be a part of it all. It's like, you keep hearing these stories that people that maybe did go to a lunch, a dinner, or maybe went to a residence where he was involved, talk about how strange and how creepy it was that they removed themselves. It seems to be a consistent thing. And then there are the people who didn't remove themselves, who continued whatever type of relationship. And it goes back to what I'm saying about Casey. Obviously the reputation thing makes sense. But the second part of it, it leaves the room for open interpretation, because you just don't know. And you're asking yourself why. When you felt it was off, you could have detached and you didn't. Did you stay because it was powerful? Did you stay it was because connection? Did you stay because, you felt like you were being, I don't know, threatened in a certain way? Or is it because you just wanted to participate in the things that you were saying? The thing is, we don't know.
Well, I think there's a couple of things here. Number one, first of all, I think I know why a lot of these people were staying. If you look at the guys that are wrapped up in a lot of this stuff, mm-hmm. You're looking at a certain caliber of person, sure, but you're also looking at a person that Epstein could dangle this sort of boundaryless hedonism and abuse to. People that liked the idea of being with younger women. Like, when you hear some of these emails, these people are like, my God, I can be my true self. This is all the eyes wide shut, wear masked, fucking lizard people that like to drink the blood of the young. This is all of it. This is any movie you've ever watched where somebody walks into a room with people and then they walk into another room and then all of a sudden these people become these ravenous beasts where there's no sense of morality. And y'all know I'm not trying to moralize, but there's no sense of even safety or who. They just can become completely different people. It seemed like Jeffrey Epstein was an entry into that world for a lot of people, and they became addicted to it. Mm-hmm. He was a drug dealer, and that drug dealer was a certain hedonistic, abusive, perverse freedom that these gentlemen did not feel like they had the opportunity to express anywhere else.
It also taps into, when you talk about the addiction, when people reach a certain level and they've made so much money and they have so much power and they're so connected, and there's almost like they get bored. Like, what else can you do? What else can I connect to? What else can I tap into that other people can't do, but I can do because I'm in a certain group, or I have a certain amount of money, or I know a certain person? It becomes addicted to, well, what's next? What else can I do? That's what it seems like this is a part of it as well, which is disgusting.
So let me ask you this. And, once again, I firmly believe, as Logan does, that Jeffrey Epstein was a foreign intelligence asset. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys, nothing else makes sense. There's something like just do your own research. I hate when I say this, but like I hate to do your own research because every time you ask somebody to do your own research, they come back and tell you that like distilled water cures cancer or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like, but if you look into Jeffrey Epstein, there's really no accounting for why he became so rich. He definitely wasn't a master investor, maybe could have been a master launderer. Somebody positioned Jeffrey Epstein in the place to be who he became, which was someone that had all these types of secrets and had all this access to all of these people in so many different disciplines. But we don't have to go back over that. It seems like you've turned the corner on the Epstein thing.
I've changed my tune
completely. Yeah, we know that you hadn't really looked into it.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, that's what happened. We knew that the whole time you were sitting over there, you really hadn't done the work.
Okay. Is that what this is turning into?
Nah, we know it, but we knew that as soon as you picked it up, you was gonna be with us. That's what we knew.
It's not that I'm not with you. It's first off, I'm not reading through millions of pages of documents.
Yeah,
and I'm not staying up late at night like you typing people's names into the search bar trying to figure out. Did you put your name in?
Yeah,
did you put my name in?
I put your dad's name in.
Damn.
The
judge. Of course, because you know if you did, because you used to always make the joke. Oh, he was fine on the plane. You used to always make that joke.
Just because he's friends with Bill Clinton.
He's not. Bill Clinton nominated him, as he does many district judges on the federal level.
I'm fucking with you.
But I'm not you typing into the search bar trying to figure things out. However,
you realize that's my job, right?
I think, but here's the thing. It's not.
My job.
It's your job to stalk your coworkers. What
it's
you doing
my
with me,
job.
Bro?
It's
to
my
look up their
what
parents.
You know
It's to look up.
No. I didn't really look up Rachel. You
I don't
think
believe
Rachel.
You, okay.
Rachel.
No, just for fun. Like, you put your name in, didn't you?
I never put my name in. I knew I wouldn't have run that. The only way Rachel would have gone to the Epstein party, is if it was sponsored by Fanatics.
And you know what? And guess what?
God.
You know who was party I didn't go to for Super Bowl?
Who?
Fanatics.
See?
I did actually wasn't at the Fanatics party.
So if it was sponsored by Raising Cane's, you would have been.
It wouldn't be.
It definitely wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be.
Because
it wouldn't be. So I'm not even going to entertain that.
But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, I'm into this.
It's not that I'm not like obsessive over it, right? Like you said, like there's nothing. If something drops, you're stopping everything to do it. For me, I guess I obviously think it's necessary, as we talked to with Rokana when he was here, that somebody has to keep that pressure and somebody has to keep that foot to neck. I agree with that. I think my frustration comes in, there's clearly something that's going down here. There's clearly something that you're keeping from us. But when you have the president whose name is mentioned over 38,000 times, and you have an administration that we see continues to protect him and make excuses for him, and they continue to deflect for him, it became frustrating for me I want the people who are in the fight to keep fighting, but for me, I'm paying attention to it, but I'm focusing on other issues that I feel like are just as important, So that was my thing until I watched the Bondi hearing.
Yeah, see? Hell yeah.
And I was a little mad at myself because I'm sure I come off as a little flippant, which I want to be very clear. I'm obviously very concerned about the victims and upset that their information has been put out there. And they are the ones who suffered and who were impacted and who were harmed, yet they're the ones not being protected in all of this. That's very frustrating to me. But I feel like I'm flippant as in like, here we go, some more stuff. Because I'm like, we're never going to get to the meat of it. We're never going to get where we want to. But then I saw the Bondi hearing and I was not shocked because we saw her do this with the Senate, but I think it was how rude she was, how condescending she was, how childish, that she was clearly lying and just very unlikable. And there was such a clear deflection of every question that was asked of her that I thought, okay, I think, how could you watch this and not be like, who are you protecting and what are you protecting? The purpose of the Department of Justice is to uphold the rule of law, to keep our country safe and protect civil rights. The role of the Attorney General, who acts as the chief legal officer and top law enforcement official, who's representing the public interest in legal matters, and who the key purpose is advising the executive branch and prosecuting crimes, and enforcing civil rights. How can that be the purpose of this department that Pam Bondi is in charge of? How can that be her role? And there was nothing that showed in that hearing that she was there to protect the public interest or uphold the rule of law to keep the country safe, which she said in her opening statements. She said that she is about protecting America. She gave all these examples about how crime is down and how her goal is to protect America, but you're sitting in front of people who were harmed, who were violated. And you can talk about protecting America, but you can't talk about protecting Americans, like the sexual assault survivors who were standing right behind you and you couldn't even turn around and apologize or face them directly. Like it was the most pick-me behavior that I have seen in a long time on full display. And she is a living example of why the patriarchy can continue to exist, because it is helped and big upped by women like Pam Bondi. It was so disgusting the way that she was acting, clearly trying to seek the approval of men, but particularly one man, Donald Trump. And as I don't even have to list all the things out. I mean, we can talk about them as we continue to have this conversation, but all the things that came out during the hearing, of whether it was you're not giving all the documents and asking why. Who are these co-conspirators and why aren't they being investigated? Are they being investigated? Okay, well, where are you in this investigation? Just a laundry list of things that were coming out, or lies that were told by Kash Patel that, since the more documents have come out, have proven not to be true. And all you did was turn pages in your burn book and point out to each politician that you were talking about what was happening in their district, or bringing up the Dow Jones or whatever it may be. And it was clear that she was about prioritizing the stock market over sexual assault, because that's what she was there for, about the Epstein files. She was clearly about prioritizing personal attacks over facts. And I just feel like this hearing revealed so much. And if your goal was to have this platform where you were going to stand toe-to-toe with Democrats and call them out on quote unquote their hypocrisy or things that you feel like they're not doing right and are not for the benefit of this country, I think you failed tremendously, because all it revealed to somebody like me, who might have felt like, oh, there's so much information, or this is a Trump administration who's just protecting him, it enraged me. I thought it was embarrassing that, as somebody who took an oath and who practiced law and who used to revere these positions within our government, it was embarrassing for me to watch this woman call herself an attorney general. It really made me upset to watch. And you have reinvigorated something for me, or maybe not even reinvigorated, just lit a fire in me that maybe wasn't even there, about now I'm tapped in. And I think it had the opposite effect to a lot of people, maybe who felt like me, or maybe who didn't want to read all the files, and all this stuff was coming out in a way that was a little bit more digestible to them. And they're asking the questions, what is going on? And if you are the party of transparency, why are you not being transparent? And why can't you answer simple questions if the goal is to protect children, to protect victims, and to call out this elite system or these corrupt politicians that exist? Instead, you were hiding it all. And I think that this hearing was a win for the Democrats. I'm tapped in.
Tapped in. Well, I'll tell you something about the way I look at it. I mean, it didn't make me mad because, there's this great part on this Jay Electronica song, and it comes from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I think. And it says, "Do you marvel at a bird when it flies?"
Not me.
Do you marvel at a fish when it swims? No, because that's what they were made to do. Like, when you see someone that is serving their function, that's what they were made to do. Mm-hmm. That's what their purpose is.
It's supposed to be.
Pam Bondi was not just the Attorney General of the United States of America. She also was the Attorney General in Florida from 2011 to 2019. And during her time as Attorney General in Florida, she did not bring state-level charges against Jeffrey Epstein. Pam Bondi is right now, she is in the position that she is in purposefully as, number one, reward, in my opinion, for not doing that.
Yeah.
Just as Alex Acosta was elevated to a cabinet level position for the sweetheart deal that he gave Jeffrey Epstein. He was rewarded for the way that he handled that. She was rewarded by being able to lead the DOJ because of the fact that she went easy on Jeffrey Epstein. Her purpose, her flying as a bird, her swimming as a fish, is to do what she did in front of Congress.
Yeah.
That is what she is there for.
Yeah.
She is there to do that. All the other shit that we are talking about as in terms of how these people are supposed to function, no one in Trump's orbit is there for that. Hegseth isn't there to restore lethality to the United States armed forces. Lutnick, Besant, all of these people aren't there to figure out what's best for the United States financially. No. Pam Bondi isn't there to protect and uphold the rights of victims or to do any of that other shit. That's not why they're there. They're there at the whim of the president to destabilize, to act upon the president's goals and wishes, and they're being rewarded for the fact that in the past they have exhibited the ability to do that. Pam Bondi is being rewarded for the fact that she took it easy on Jeffrey Epstein for an entire decade, and she's taking it easy on him now because all of this shit is set up in a gigantic reward structure that rewards people for protecting this shit that has been going on.
Yeah.
That is why singers and actors and people of the like that just go, hey, I don't want to be around this. That's why people empowering themselves with the knowledge of what's going on and asking questions about the luminaries that they respected. And there are going to be, guys, some people that you really love that are going to be involved in this stuff. There's going to be, the best that you can do is ask questions about the depth of their involvement, when they knew, what they knew, all of that stuff. That's why it's actually incumbent upon you to be a part of the responsibility that you want to see from the powerful. And not just in this Jeffrey Epstein thing, period, man. We keep talking about this. We're going to talk about this with Symone and Eugene about how we get past identity or about how we get past our own bias to just get to what works for people. James Van Der Beek died, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, James Van Der Beek. This has nothing to do with Epstein. James Van Der Beek died, right? Now there are people talking about their opinions about James Van Der Beek, right? His politics and all that stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that.
Right, so people are talking about his wife was an anti-vaxxer. James Van Der Beek might have been MAGA, whatever. Rest in peace to Mox, to Dawson, to James Van Der Beek, who died of cancer. Rest in peace. He passed away. He was an actor that had to have some means, right? I'm not saying he got rich, but he was probably doing better than the average American.
Sure.
He has passed away, and his family is crowdfunding.
I know. I'm looking it up right now to see how much.
Right? His family is crowdfunding from the children. They could be up to $500,000 in debt. Right?
1.6 million.
$1.6 million in debt.
No, raised.
Excuse me, raised so far, which is fantastic, right? We care about James Van Der Beek. We care about Dawson. We care about Jonathan Moxon.
Care about the kids.
We care about the kids, right?
The wife, all of it.
Do you have any idea right now? I'm not about to start preaching. I'm going to make this short. Do you have any idea how many people in America right now are stricken with cancer or stricken with other diseases or living with chronic diseases that are going broke because of the American healthcare system? And they never won no TV shows for you. They didn't dance or sing. They kids right now are going to have to live with tremendous debt and burden. You don't know who they are. It's luck if you hear about them. It's luck if anybody gives a fuck about them, because we won't address fundamental issues, cracks in the American system of how we care for one another and about the priorities that we make important. we talk about a whole bunch of other things, except is it fucking right for somebody to die because they get sick? And the same way that the powerful insulate themselves from criticism and investigation about the children that they are abusing, they also insulate themselves from investigation about the systems that they have created and participated in that continue to immiserate Americans generation after generation after generation. A lot of these fucking parties and stuff like that, that's like the secret parties of all this, a lot of them is sponsored by Pfizer. Like a lot of them have to do with big pharma, and a lot of them have to do with big oil, and a lot of them have to do with big whatever the fuck it is, all of that stuff. I'm criticizing all of this stuff sitting in my corporate chair, in my corporate place, in corporate Los Angeles. I get it. But I'm telling everyone out there that curiosity into the reason why the thing that you need to change won't change is the only thing possible that can bring power to account. And so for me, when I look at all of this, she's up there doing what she's supposed to do. She done already done it, which is why she was rewarded. And we talk a lot about, sometimes I go too far, talking about, we different, all right, I'm a bleeding heart. I don't really give a fuck, whatever. I get it. I go too far. I get it. I go too far. I get it. You guys feel like I go too far. Everybody gets mad. Van wants everything to be free, blah, 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 blah. Tell you what, though, I know one thing. I know that protecting children should not be controversial. And also, people going broke because they got sick should not be controversial either. So I personally see a lot of through lines in all of these situations. And I'm just wondering right now, talk later about it. I'm just wondering right now, like, it's like Jerry Maguire. You see that one?
Yes, I did see
and
Jerry Maguire.
I know you like that shit. That's a rage-coded movie.
Why?
Because a couple of reasons. It's about true love,
okay,
which Rage cares about.
Football.
Okay, Rod Tidwell. You're basically the Rod Tidwell of The Bachelorette.
Am I?
Yeah. You Rod Tidwell.
Okay.
Like, you Rod Tidwell, and I'm like Aries Spears as Rod Tidwell's brother.
I don't know. I don't know if they ever really showed me the money.
Who, The Bachelor?
Yeah. You
got showed the money from some people, though. You're doing good. I've been to the crib.
I'm doing good because I worked hard on my own.
I know. But you are but you were like a Rod Tidwell.
Okay.
So, I don't know, who would be your Jerry Maguire? Molly?
No.
Who would be your Jerry Maguire?
Well, Jerry helped.
Who would, everybody should be asking themselves this question. Who would be your Jerry Maguire? Logan, who's your Jerry Maguire? Is there a white man going through a midlife crisis that has really helped you?
Is it Connor Nethans?
Oh, Connor. You know who that is? You don't.
I know, he's at the Ringer.
Yeah, he's at the Ringer. Yeah.
Who's yours?
I don't know. I don't think I have one. But look,
he knows. He
don't want to say it.
I don't think I have one. But like, anyway, all I'm saying is, it's like in that situation, in the Jerry Maguire situation of it all, I just personally am wondering who's coming with me. Like Jerry said when he got fired, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me?
I think I'm with you. I think, listen, bottom line, watching this hearing, there's a cover up. If you didn't think it before, you had to see it. And yes, you were so right about Bondi and why she got that job and what her purpose was there for. And even if let's just say most people might not be familiar with her being the Attorney General in Florida. And even if they are familiar with that, and that's her resume, they may not be familiar with the fact that Epstein was being investigated while she was there, and they failed to have any charges against him in the state of Florida. Like, that all may be true, but most people probably don't know that. If they watch this, if they saw the news on this or this covered, I don't know how you can't watch it and ask yourself these questions of what's really going on and why is this so hard for you? Bottom line, at the end of the day, after this hearing, you cannot have watched it, watch snippets of it. It's all over social media. Watched it on the news coverage and not thought, there's a cover up and there's a smugness and a hypocrisy that is existing within this administration that clearly was on display. And it's been on display, right? But it was so outright and outrageous that I don't know how someone, to your point, can't come with you. Can't start asking those questions. Can't be curiosity. It's why I've changed my tune. I watched it. I wrote to the group chat. I said, guys, I have to confess something. I changed my tune, and I'm sorry. I should have been there from the beginning. I should have been there from the beginning.
But now we gotta get. I gotta send you videos. I gotta get you with Ryan Grimm, Drop Site News. Shout out to Ryan Grimm, Drop Site.
Somebody referenced that to me the other day. And I was like,
where are you at on Epstein, Logan?
It's a travesty. It's gross. Everything in it is gross. And it's repulsive. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
And that's all true.
Yeah.
How does Epstein overlap with the NBA? If someone were to ask you this, Logan Murdock, how does Epstein overlap with the NBA? Talk to us. Which NBA players would be most?
I would say that remains to be seen, Van. Rachel, I have a question for you. Real quickly. Yeah.
This is what Pam Bondi was doing in the hearings.
He changed the subject. You know who would be in there.
Rachel, how do you deal with the awkwardness that like Van just throws your way? Whenever like there's like silent, quiet time, he just says some like wild shit to just put you on the spot. How do you deal with it? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I was just like checking my phones. I was getting ready. We got the studio later that we're about to do a podcast on. I'm preparing for that. And then I get asked this question out of nowhere. Like, how do you deal with just the random, just awkward moments that he provides?
It's a good question. And honestly, I don't even think about it. I've been doing this with Van for 5.5 years now at this point, which is crazy to say. And I don't ever really feel awkward. You
never feel awkward?
I'm so used to it now. That's like
one time.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened.
You literally
so I shouldn't say I should
last
never.
Time I was on. We both did. I think we like trauma bonded over him.
Maybe so.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just so used to it. I'm like, that's just Van.
Okay.
That's just Van. But you got to come more often, and you too will
I'm
be
pulling
like
up.
me.
You know I'm here every time I'm in LA.
You too.
And also, second question to that question. This is for me and Van. This is, big bro, little bro talk real quick. What goes through your mind when like there's just an awkward silence? Is it just like, I'm just going to make this weird as possible? Or is it like, I really want to know your opinion about this?
I love inciting people and making them feel awkward.
Okay.
Because I feel awkward at all times.
Okay.
I almost never feel like
comfortable.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And so me making other people feel awkward is bonding and inclusive.
What about like when I send you like random Webby at like 9 p.m. just to bond like that and you don't respond? Like when I just say like, yo, this was the shit. Remember, like what normal bros do.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I just send you some like an article and I get no response, but like, can I just go to one of our text messages really quickly?
You can.
I know
he doesn't respond. That's you don't. You're not a good texter.
No. He's a great texter.
The Webby situation. When I hear the records, it takes me back to Baton Rouge. What happens is I go listen
Webby,
to the record.
I don't know what I was thinking. Wait, what did you send about Webby?
This is something that this is a perfect example, right? Because I'm a fan of the show. I watch this all the time. I saw the Joy Taylor interview and I was like, this is really great work from both of you guys. So I was really happy about it. This was like July 25th. And I text Van. I said, great job on the Joy interview. He responds back, I've killed before.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, bro, like, you can't just say thank you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. So let me make you feel better. When I didn't really know Van as well, and we were supposed to start this podcast in March 2020.
Sure.
Obviously, COVID hit. Of course. And it was pushed back, and we didn't end up starting until May 2020. I don't know Van that well.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like get to know Van and send text messages. And I text Van, and I can't remember what I might have said like, hey, this is Rachel, or like, hey, just seeing how you're doing. And he was like, who is this? I don't think I said it's Rachel. I just assumed he had my number. And he was like, who is this? And I'm like, it's Rachel. And he was like, and I'm paraphrasing this, and you might remember, but he was like, no, who the fuck is this? Like, I got killers with me or something like that.
Fuck, bro.
And I don't know him that well.
I know.
So I'm like, it was awkward, but I was I was a little scared, but I was confused. Okay. And I was like, is he playing? I don't know his sense of humor like that. And then he was like, no, fair, I'm serious. Like on this, on that. I'll have people come up. He like started naming all this stuff. And he was like, you don't understand what I do. And I was like,
to be fair, though,
this is Rachel.
He is from an open carry state. I mean, as you are too.
As I am too. But it just, so to your point, it's like, you got, like Jade knows, it's like Bernard is learning. You say something like, hey, new Epstein files dropped or something, and Van will be like, balls.
It's funny. The shit is funny to me. I'm sorry. It's like the shit is funny to me.
Yeah, he'll be like, I have a wedgie. Yeah. Farts. It's just, and you just, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's funny.
It means he likes you.
Yeah,
I know he does. I'm just like, yo, man. Like, can we just have a conventional conversation?
It's funny for only 2-1.
And I just be trying to bond with my dog, and
that is bonding. We bonded.
But I wonder how you do if somebody does it back to you. Like you should reciprocate that.
There's one person who does.
Who?
Adam Friedland.
Really? Oh, wait. Is that?
You told us
that's
about
what I meant, right?
Yeah. Adam Friedland is the one person.
Sense.
Adam, like when I'm texting with
that
Adam is. I aspire to be the comic off-puttingness that Adam can manifest. First of all, he's a lovely guy. He's a nice guy.
He was great. He was great.
He's a sweet guy. But Adam is the one that'll hit you up on some, I can't believe Tupac died for this shit. And then he'll send you a video or some shit like this. They said some off the wall shit. He's got a high level comedic brain. Okay. But you got a chance to meet him at the party.
I did. And once he found out that I was on The Bachelor, he just had like a million. Wait, what did he say to me? He goes, we're talking. I'm like, oh, I'm divorced. And then something was said and he was like, did you marry the guy from The Bachelor? And I was like, yeah. He goes, why the fuck did you do that? That's dumb as fuck.
Like, and Rachel's
that's a paraphrase, but that was the sentiment. Yeah. And I was like, what can I say? You're not wrong. Yeah. I was like, that is actually an appropriate response to me saying that. Oh, man. Yeah. No, he was great.
Van and y'all in these Hollywood ass conversations, man.
We have fun. Look, whatever, man. We're having fun. We're doing our best. Listen, we have to get to our interview with the co-host of the Crockett podcast, Symone Sanders, Townsend, and Eugene Daniels II. That's after this break. All right, guys. Guest time. Special guests on the show. Symone Sanders Townsend and Eugene Daniels. You already see them on MS Now, but now you're going to see them and hear them. Something new. MS Now presents Crockett. This is a new podcast where Washington power players will take on these two Washington power players in Washington. They're going to take on the latest political news, the catchiest cultural moments, and how the two converge. It's going to be available everywhere today, February 12th.
Yeah,
right now. Yeah. Now, congratulations to you guys to the new pod. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about it. Like, you guys are veterans to being on linear cable news. What do you hope to explore new and fresh and different on your pod?
Well, look, first of all, we love you guys. So great to talk to y'all today. Look, I think people are asking, like, okay, we see you on TV. Is it the same as television? We've had lawmakers already reach out and members of Congress like, oh, I want to get on the podcast. And I'm like, oh, that ain't this podcast. I think what we're most excited about, frankly, is to bring people into the group chat Eugene and I already have. Eugene and I are always talking about work, about people at work sometimes, about what's going on out there in the world, and politics and culture. They are intertwined. It's not a sideshow. Culture is not a sideshow to what's happening in politics. It's part of the main event. So we're bringing people into our group chat, right, Eugene?
Yeah, I think part of it is it came naturally because, like she said, we talk all the time. And what we both believe intrinsically is that these two things are linked, culture and politics. And you can't pull them apart. And most importantly, right, we probably couldn't do this podcast and wouldn't feel the need to do it during Biden because Donald Trump, unlike other presidents, understands that trying to arresting the culture, having control of the culture is actually a better way to operate as a president and better in terms of getting what you want done, right? If people see you, having UFC fights at the White House, it's a Trump Kennedy Center. If they, you are seen as cool and interesting, right, to a certain segment of the population, then what you do politically and policy-wise is more acceptable, right? And so that is, we're going to explore that. We're going to explore the attacks on people that look like us, and queer people, and what does it feel like in this country at this moment, and have a little bit of fun, but do it in a way that also matches the moment.
And we're going to get into some of the news of the day. So on our first episode, we hit some of the headlines, and then we get into a really great conversation with Tony Goldwyn and Miles Frost, which was wow. It was good. Yeah. Eugene, at one point in the podcast, asked Tony Goldwyn, I was kind of like, why are you asking that? He said, you do a lot of projects with Black people. What is that about? Yeah.
Black women.
And Tony gives a very insightful
Black ladies. He likes to, he been visiting the community for a long time now.
Yes.
Go back into the 90s, you see him back there. Tony like a little bit of, that's what I'm talking about.
But he's on Law and Order now, so he's a little even out.
Well, maybe.
You said something interesting, because I know this is about the, how culture and politics intertwine. And you said you have politicians that are already asking to come on, and you're like, no. So are we no politicians are going to be allowed on the podcast?
We don't want to talk to them. No.
So
we want to talk to them on our
I love
TV
this.
shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We want to talk to people who are in the culture, right? Yeah. Because we know the politics, right? Like, if you have a member of Congress on, there are very few of them who understand this topic to begin with, that culture and politics are intertwined. And there's very few of them, if any of them, that can actually have a discussion that feels real, right? And not trying to sell you on anything. And so being able to talk to people who are actually in the culture, who are in the zeitgeist in some way, shape, or form, to us is a better way to talk about it. Because we hear politicians all the time talking about, the culture and the way that they think about culture. But what's the opposite of that?
Mm-hmm. So then how will working in traditional media versus working on a podcast give you the different tools that you need to influence the conversation?
Well, look, I think that first of all, as you all know, you have to meet people where they are. When I used to be a political strategist, we would always talk about meeting people at the barbershops, the beauty shops, and the Bible studies, which was basically shorthand for going to where the people are and taking your message there and trying to earn their vote. I think the media apparatus has to do the same thing. Eugene is still going to co-host his show on the weekend. I'm still co-hosting the weeknight. And a lot of times we'll have these amazing conversations on air. And then I'm always like, well, did we clip it? What are we clipping? What are we putting on social? Because there's so many people that only see what is on social, and social is a snippet of the conversation. So this podcast, and frankly, this is the first video, I would say the second iteration of MS Now in this video podcast world. Nicole Wallace has a really amazing podcast our colleague, where she does one-on-one conversations with the quote unquote best people, play on Donald Trump's best people. But ours is, this is the first time we're having a group conversation, and we're inviting people to have a group conversation with us about the news. Yeah. But also about the cultural zeitgeist. So yeah, we're going to talk to Tony Goldwyn and Miles Frost, who have a play that they're doing together that Tony is co-directing, and Miles is going to, talk to us about, how Chadwick Boseman has inspired him, and what these times mean, and the assault on the culture. And that's not a conversation, frankly, you can get out of a cable news segment. But we are, and I would argue, Eugene has been interviewing people for a very long time, a seasoned journalist in these streets. So he can really, between the two of us, we're really going to pull out the kind of conversations, frankly, that we are all really having in our own group chats, because it's crazy out there right now.
And I think part of it is, what we often hear, the two of us, from people that watch the show, some of our bosses, is that you guys boil down politics into a very accessible way. Mm-hmm. And so that is, as you guys know better than we, that is the heart of podcasting, right? People don't come to listen to your podcast to hear a bunch of Harvard SAT words and have to look up the damn thesaurus. That's not interesting, right? That's not how people have normal conversations. And so that is also a part of, that's what you asked about the skill set. So that's the skill set we're taking from TV and upping it into the podcast, where we want people who maybe they don't watch linear television to watch us on YouTube or listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or what have you. We want them to be able to get to and be able to understand the kinds of things that's going on, because at the end of the day, Symone and I talk about this a lot on our shows, is that the arresting the culture is also something that authoritarian leaders do at the very beginning, right? Because they start giving themselves fake awards. They start naming things after themselves. They start, because it is really important when you are trying to change the culture and the politics of a country to arrest the culture at the very beginning of it. And that's something that we're seeing. So we're going to explore that.
And I don't think the media landscape is going to be able to survive if they can't meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Like, to be very clear, I have a younger sister that's a little bit younger than me, and the girl does not watch cable news. Hasn't watched cable news for a very long time, actually. Doesn't even have cable at home, but she's on YouTube. And so people like my sister, she's engaged, she's involved. She doesn't think of herself necessarily, I would say, as a political person, but she cares to know what is going on, and she seeks out what is going on in her own way. But she's not going to turn on a cable news segment, even though I got a damn show. So there are millions of people out there like my sister.
My siblings watch, okay?
Come on now. Oh, your siblings are watching. You got better siblings than I do. I need to send my sister to your
What do y'all think it says about politicians and the way we're communicating that you guys don't have the faith that they can come on a podcast and be relatable and have an in-depth conversation with you guys?
Well, I disagree with Eugene. I think that as someone who used to advise politicians, I think they can come and have a relatable conversation.
I think he's 1,000% right.
Really?
There's not a lot of them. No,
I think he's so right. I think
why?
Because when we've had politicians on the show, we talk to them. First of all, just so everybody knows, if you know politicians in real life and then you interview them, the whiplash that you get is oftentimes off-putting, even when you fuck with them, even when you like them. And you will implore them, hey, man, look, we're going to have a conversation. Just be the same guy. And I promise you, people going to love it. They cannot do it. And I actually think that you guys are really hitting on something that's super interesting to me. The reason why Trump has been able to position himself, promote himself, brand himself, the reason why people say fake news like it's slang, the reason why people like MAGA is basically a slang word, is because there is something that, even though he dips into so many different grotesque things, that there's a feeling that people have that he creates culture in this really weird way because they believe that he's authentically who he is.
I mean, it's not even a feeling. Like, he has done it. The reason we even know Trump is because The Apprentice. He's been in movies, music, sports for like years. At one point, I believe Trump was the most mentioned name in rap music, and this was before his ascension in his political career. So I think that there's a familiarity with Donald Trump, who a lot of people knew him to be previously, that colors what people think about him right now. And I mean, I don't agree with the president on, I think 99.999% of things, but I will say he's a master marketer and he understands how to market a product himself. Now, even if it's a little raggedy product like those gold boots or the little jaggedy Bible, but he understands how to do it. And that is because he doesn't come from the political world. And so I think for us, like, we don't want to talk to the politicians because our podcast is not a venue for you to come on and like
run for office.
No, like this is a venue for you to come for the guests we are having to come on and unpack some things, have a conversation that we are actually having. Now, maybe one day there'll be a politician that actually, lives in the intersection of that. Truly, but for now, that's not what this is.
Word.
The politicians are listening for sure, like they listen to your podcast.
Correct.
And they are taking their cues from this spear and trying to figure out how to break through.
But it doesn't feel like it. And that's why I think, to piggyback on what Van is saying, it's so interesting that you don't want them in there, because if culture does dictate politics, and we've seen that from the right, I mean, they hijack everything. I mean, they say fuck around and find out now, which makes me sick.
About ICE agents.
Makes me sick. Like that was a cultural, that's our term. But if culture does dictate politics, I guess what is maybe the hope with the podcast? Because you know, you're having these conversations that we're having in the group chat with each other at the dinner table. So how do you merge the two? How can, if they are listening and we're continuing to preach this message of you need to tap in, you need to meet people where they are, you need to be more relatable. How will your podcast do it? How in general do we get there? Because there's a disconnect.
Yeah, I think part of it is that, and Van, your point about, you know, talking to a politician before you hit record and what the person they turn into, you can literally see them like change, like physically.
My brother, speak. And the change is visible on the thing. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be wanting to tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, man,
but like, no, go back to that.
Don't start telling me about who raised you in the single mother situation in 1975. I don't want. We're not trying to hear that. No, but go ahead.
Yeah, but and so like their need to understand that the American people, the world, but the American people want realness from their politicians.
Word.
And they've been saying this for years, right? Like, be authentic. You know, like people like Symone have been telling politicians for years to be authentic. But the authentic of what a politician sees as authentic and how everyone who is on the internet all the time engaging with human beings understands to be authentic are two different things. I think one of my issues with politicians is they often, not all of them, but many of them see the American people and they don't give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to understanding how this thing works, right? It's like they don't understand politics. Like, no, they do, because it's not just like do they understand it in the civics form, right? Do they read the books? Do they go to history? It is, do they understand human connection? Do they understand back and forth? And, you know, something I say when I talk to young people who want to be journalists who are young, I say, take psychology classes, because actually, if you want to be and understand how politicians operate, how folks in the culture operate, how human beings operate, you have to understand how they think. And it's not, I think sometimes in the media, we make things very complicated, or we try to put how we want someone to behave onto them and give them the benefit of the doubt that way when it comes to politicians. And that's where we make our mistakes, right? Like, I think so many people, you know, when Trump puts out this Obama video, this racist video last week, right? He puts it out. There's so many. I'm watching so many people that I used to work with on the White House beat just throw out the excuse that the White House first put out, which is like not true. It's saying it's the Lion King. That is not from the Lion King.
There were no apes in the Lion King.
No gorillas.
There's Rafiki. He is a baboon. But I think like you have to, as journalists, as people with power and influence, stop just taking people's word for it and understand human psychology and understand the why. And that's something I think we'll explore on the podcast, right? Like, Trump will do something racist again, and we will talk about it on the podcast. And it's like, yes, this is racist, this is who he is, but why is he doing it, right? And I think trying to give not politicians the tools, but the American people, the people who listen to the podcast, the tools to operate in their daily lives so they can understand what's happening. Because frankly, the politicians will listen. We love everyone who will listen to it, but I'm much more interested to hear from everyday people who listen to the podcast and how they think about it.
Yeah. Because it's crazy out there. There's an assault on our democracy, and the Republican Party apparatus have been very, very crafty in taking over various institutions and entities, to the point where, like, the Ellisons now own TikTok. Remember when TikTok was fucking up the other day?
Yes.
Okay, like right after they bought it. We talk about what's happening with the Washington Post, who owns some of these local news stations. Look at what happened to the site formerly known as Twitter. How people get their information and the platforms of which they trust, they are absolutely being influenced by our politics and vice versa. So we also want people to, clock that as well. And if you understand that, you can, I think, maybe decipher some things better. And I think the last point I want to make about the politicians is what we're not addressing, and I think in this conversation that we're having right now, is that there's a generational divide. Yeah. Because to be very clear, I think there are a number of young politicians who could come on, elected officials right now, who they don't mind like sitting down in a space and place and being themselves, because that is how they came up in the political world. Their entire political career has been centered on being themselves. But somebody like I would argue a former Vice President Kamala Harris, whom I used to work for, there have been many times where I would put somebody in a room with her, somebody would have a meeting with her, and they would come out of the meeting and be like, oh my God, she's so great. Like, what? And I'm like, yes, she's funny. Yes, very hilarious. Yeah. And then someone will see her in an interview or in a debate stage or something else, and they'll say, I just feel like that's not the same person I saw privately. Well, Kamala Harris is a 60-something-year-old Black lady. When she came up, the elected officials and the young people were not doing what we're doing now. Yeah. And so I do think there's a generational thing there, but I think the politicians are clocking it. That's why Gavin Newsom got his own podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
where he talks to Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Like, that is a great point. Because if you grew up in the era where like a picture of Gary Hart, like on a boat could completely torpedo an entire political career, you can't operate in that era. Our president had sex with Stormy Daniels. Shout out to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge still getting it done. Stormy Daniels, that's Baton Rouge native. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
No, none of us did.
That's Baton Rouge.
Oh,
baby.
God.
Nobody is shouting out.
When we in Louisiana, when we say fuck the president, we actually
Stormy,
mean it.
Apparently.
So and now things are just different, and I would hope that they would loosen up a little bit and try to meet people where they are, and we all have to push them to do that. I think we all agree. Let me ask you guys a question about something specifically that's happening. The two of you have been around so many political campaigns, so many politicians, and I've covered this and talked about this for so long. What's happening right now in Texas is concerning to me.
What part?
The battle royale that exists between James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett and James Talarico. I'll tell you why. Like, a lot of people aren't really paying attention to this because in the grand scheme of things, this primary is going the way primaries go. Primaries are vicious, they're brutal. Until you get to a general, you normally learn everything that you need to learn about a candidate. This is the way it's supposed to go. I will say in the last couple of weeks, this one particularly has metastasized to me because now what we are doing is, through the schism that exists there, we're investigating real fissures that exist in the coalition of the left. And the nut kicking that's going on right now, not just between the two candidates, but between people who have made this countrywide, a referendum on safety, on Black women, Black men, on racism, on all of this stuff. I'm not so sure that entire situation right there isn't indicative of the real problem with solidarity on the left. And so my question is, from you guys' vantage point, what's your diagnosis of how that race is going?
I think part of it is, I think you're right. It's going how primaries are supposed to go. I think that right when you get to the end, right, people are going to start voting here very soon and early voting. That's when people start getting a little nastier, especially when it's the closer it gets. I think what it really shows, the fissures that I see, other than like the obvious like racial and the way in which we see white men talking about Jasmine Crockett as a Black woman, right? That is a whole conversation in and of itself. But I think what you're seeing is the fight in the Democratic Party is no longer ideological. It is, do you fight, and what does that fight look like? And I think James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett show two very different ways of how to do that, right? James Talarico is doing kind of like an old school, I want to bring everyone together. I'm opening my heart. I want Republicans to vote for me. And you have Jasmine Crockett, who's up here in DC, right? And so it's also like where they're kind of coming up, who's up here in DC fighting with the president every single day and seems to understand that what the left wants is someone to fight out loud, right? They don't want you to be friends with Republicans that are raggedy, right? You can be friends with the Republicans that are nice, but the Republicans that are out here saying racist stuff and being sexist and all that, they don't want you to be friends with them. So I think that is the biggest fight you're seeing. I think the stuff that's bothering me about it is the misogynoir when it comes to how people are interacting and covering Jasmine Crockett and the way in which they speak about her. And every time I think that folks in the media or folks who watch and talk about these things have learned their lessons, right? They show me that they didn't learn a damn thing, right? We went through this many times. I cover Vice President Harris very closely, and we just haven't understood how those things operate. And I will also say, last thing is, like, James Talarico's kind of, did he or didn't he call Colin Allred a mediocre black man, right? Did he say he was a mediocre campaigner? Did he call him a mediocre black man? I think also shows there is sometimes a misunderstanding with white liberals on how things are going to be perceived, right? That you cannot just run against a person of color the same way you're going to run against another white guy. Had he called, Beto O'Rourke mediocre, people I think would have been like, okay, whatever. But when you're talking about a black man or a black person, it's taken differently. And I think that's also a lesson that Democrats are having to learn. And this is the first primary that we're going to actually see some, like a real fight happening in the Democratic Party. And I'm not sure. I think primaries are really important. I think they're healthy.
I think they're vital.
Right. Yeah. I think I think that, I know Hakeem Jeffries and them and Chuck Schumer don't want to hear this, but I think everybody should be primaried. I think that
you think they should primary Leader Jeffries?
I think anyone should. I think it keeps you on your P's and Q's, right? I think it's not about is Hakeem Jeffries ready for the job. It is that everyone who is in office should always have to be looking over their shoulder at who's coming up next. Are the ideas that I'm presenting to my constituents still touching what they need, right? Am I still in the same vein as my constituents that when I came here 30 years ago, right? Am I still doing the same thing? Do they still want me? I think it's healthy, and I think both parties should be doing a lot more of them personally.
Well, look, there's so much I could say about this race. First, I will note, I think I am concerned about I worked for the highest profile Black woman politician that was ever elected in this country. And so at this point, I have seen it all. Yes. Okay. I've been standing there where, literally she was sitting there doing an interview with the mainstream. She is in Vice President Harris sitting there doing an interview with a mainstream outlet. And the seasoned journalist who happened to be a white woman is like, so your mother decided to raise you as Black? And I'm like, oh God, this is how we start? Jesus Christ. So I'm not surprised. That being said, that doesn't make it right. But that being said, I do think that because people that are, very well, read, people who understand that who have issues with, like all of us do, the misogyny that's coming up in this race, that doesn't mean we should be above critiquing the candidates, including Congresswoman Crockett. Like, to be very clear, she's running an unconventional campaign. I, as someone that's done campaigns for a long time, I didn't understand the launch video. But I also have said for a very long time that I think she can win this primary. But the way in which you win a primary is you go out there, you talk to the voters, you meet them where they are. I don't think there's been enough attention in this race necessarily nationally about what the candidates are actually doing on the ground. Because I would say on the ground, she is doing those things. But the conversation becomes about, well, she's not putting ads on air. Talarico has more money. All of these other things, at the end of the day, they don't matter to voters. And while this has become a race that people speak about nationally, it is the people of Texas, the Democratic primary voters, frankly, that are going to decide who the candidate is. And then the people of Texas are going to decide if they want whoever comes out of this Democratic primary or the Republican candidate. Now, I think voters, particularly, there is nobody that turns into a pundit quicker than a Democratic voter in a freaking primary. Okay, they become analysts. All of a sudden, they got numbers. All of a sudden, they're like, well, I don't know the probability of so-and-so winning in a general election. Mm-hmm. When the reality is, the person that will win is the person that, that garners the most support. So you should vote for the person that you want to win, not the person that you think has the likeliest chance of beating a white man in a general election. Mm. And I think that's what's really at the heart of what's going on in this Crockett-Talarico situation. At the end of the day, people privately, let's just be honest, privately, they're all like, well, will white people vote for her?
I mean,
people are saying and asking.
I mean, right. To me, last thing I'll say about it, to me, I'm sure that for people who are smarter politically, that's a calculus. I'm sure, or people, that's part of it, right? Like, particularly after what we've seen with Donald Trump and MAGA, I think there's a large part of the centrist Democratic movement that just wants to pick the best white guy.
Oh, yeah.
And go into that and make sure that I'm not concerned with any of that. at this point, I don't think that I'm concerned with identity at all. I'm concerned with people not going broke because they got cancer, with people having what they need. And so I actually don't want identity to get in the way of investigating candidates and making informed political decisions. And what I will say is that while as Black people, we always have to consider how we are viewed when we step into rooms and into positions. We also can't let, to me, politicians do what they do, which is use every single aspect of themselves to shield them from criticism or investigation into who they are. I think Congresswoman Crockett is brilliant. I would like to know as much about her as I can before I cede more power. I'm not in Texas. Before we make her more powerful. Doesn't matter whether or not she's Black, she's a Black lady, all of this stuff. Hakeem Jeffries, don't like him. I think he should be primary by Donald Duck. I would put Donald Duck in there. All right, but like, don't like him. Like, I can name a bunch of people, a bunch of Black men in these, don't like these guys. Don't like them. Don't think that they represent anything new, fresh. I don't even think they truly represent the will and the polling that I see from their own constituencies. So what I'm saying is, while I will always protect Black people that are going into situations where they're vulnerable, I'm not going to protect power that is using Blackness to shield itself or insulate itself from criticism or investigation.
Question, and this is a question for everybody. Do you think Jasmine Crockett's doing that?
No.
That was my question.
I don't think Jasmine Crockett's doing that. What I think is that there are a lot of people that are doing it on her behalf. I think Jasmine Crockett is ready for any fight. I think Jasmine Crockett is ready for any fight. I think she's shown that. We've protected her when they've come at her specifically because she is a Black woman. We've seen that and we've talked about it. In this situation right here, when we talk about the launch video and stuff, we got to be able to say, hey,
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
We got to be able to say that.
Video was not a video that you launch if you were running for the United States Senate in Texas. That is not a video that says, I want to get your votes. And I'm okay with saying that. But I think other people should be able to say that. But I do think that some of the reason people get a little caught up is because sometimes the analysis, there was it in the Times, an op-ed about why Jasmine Crockett is not the candidate for the United States Senate. Yeah. And it was just washed over with a little too much. All
right, now it's enough. I feel what you're saying. Yeah, we seen that before. Hey, that's a little too much there.
Yeah,
we do that.
Y'all saw the video where there's a Black ICE agent and the protesters who are white.
They're calling him the N-word.
Calling him the N-word and a fascist, and it's like, hold up now.
Back the hell up, girl.
Yeah.
That ain't what.
Hold up now. We pull back. A bridge too far. We don't. Okay, ICE is out of control, but watch your mouth. There's a little it's like, don't go too far. And I think that's what you're hitting on, Van, that on the left, like within the progressives, I also used to work for Bernie Sanders. And frankly, sometimes the most progressive people, they sound just like some of the worst conservatives, like right-wing conservatives in this country. Like the shit is real within the Democratic coalition and on the left. But I do think that there are fissures and fractions within the leftist coalition. But frankly, that's what's going to happen in a big tent. I think the Republicans are learning that very well because they don't let these MAGAs, the QAnons. There used to be maybe two factions within the Republican Party. Now it has grown to the level that they can't control it all. But right. I do think that the conversations happening in Democratic primaries, they need to be from the voters' perspectives. Like, we should be able to have this conversation without somebody saying, "Oh, you hating on Jasmine Crockett." Yeah. Baby, I'm just putting out the facts on the table.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because I'm from Texas. And I know you talked about those.
I have a Texas tattoo. Yeah. So where are you from in Texas?
Dallas.
Okay. I went to high school in Killeen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that legitimate? I need to know.
It's right on. I went to school in Austin, so it's right. You drive right through. Right through.
Okay.
Oh, wow, look at this.
He said he got a tattoo of Texas on his side, and I was like, I don't need to know.
We have a lot of pride. I get it. I love that I'm from Texas. I love that. And so then, Eugene, you'll understand this. Like, I'm curious as to maybe what you're hearing from people in Texas. I know, talking about this conversation, people in Texas who were having the Black people who are having the conversation quietly of, can Jasmine Crockett win in Texas? But then with everything that's happening, particularly in 2026 in regards to this race, it has been, well, now we have to protect Jasmine. I don't like the way that Jasmine's being talked about. The Democrats not going to win in Texas anyway, so I'm going to vote for Jasmine Crockett because I don't like what's happening with this conversation. How do you combat that? Are these things that you're going to talk about on your podcast, I guess, to bring it back? Because, I struggle with, I see what's happening on social media. I see the conversation. I even get upset by it. And it's like, how do you sit down with that person or meet that person, back to our conversation that we've been having, when it comes to the feeling of, I need to protect, I don't like what's happening, and I can't let these stereotypes perpetuate within, political thinking. But at the same time, you need to be able to discuss what's the race and like the real issues and the ideas going on within it.
I think two things. One, I think that, we are going to have these types of conversations on the podcast. So that's really important. But two, I think something Symone said a second ago is really important. I want to keep pulling at that thread, which is that Democratic primary voters, whether it is in a Senate race, a House race, a presidential race, they spend a lot of time trying to gamify, right? And this is what happened with Obama too, right? Like the only reason that Obama became the nominee was because he won Iowa and Black people said, oh, white people gonna vote for this man. We liked him already, but now I'm gonna vote for him. Right. And so you see that I'm hearing a similar conversation in Texas, including the part about we want to protect her. I think that voters should stop trying to gamify. I think that voters should just be voting for who they want. If they like Jasmine Crockett because she's very ready to fight on all cylinders all the time, then vote for her for that. But because at the end of the day, Donald Trump is president, he's been president twice. And so like this idea about electability and the question that largely Black people and Black women get about electability, like we have to stop thinking about it in the exact same way. There are still more Black and brown people continuing to grow in Texas. And if more of them voted, it would be a blue state. Democrats have been chasing Texas for a long time, but every time there's a new Senate race, you're seeing more people, more young people, especially who tend to be a little bit more on the left-leaning side, they're eligible to vote, but they stay home. So one, politicians have to give people a reason to want to come out in these primaries, have to give people a reason to come out in these general elections, and people should stop trying to gamify it, right? Like don't do it because you're like, okay, if Paxton gets the nomination, then so maybe it's a little bit easier, but Cornyn's tougher, so maybe we should do Talarico. Like just vote for who you care about, because at the end of the day, that's the only way that we actually change the system. If you want to change the system, you have to actually vote your morals, your values, and stop trying to gamify and guess, especially trying to guess what Republicans are going to do, because who the hell knows what's going to be Cornyn and Paxton? Right?
Yeah.
We have no idea what Republicans are doing.
Who knows? They should give Gary Chambers $5 million and send them into Texas to turn Black people out. Gary's right. Did
you say that?
No, it's a lot of Louisiana people popping up in the conversation.
Yeah. Gary's right. What Gary said was that he was talking about what we talked about. We talked to Keith Edwards. Like, concentrate on the voters in the state, in the place that you're not reaching. Get to them, turn them out. Broad coalitions of people who understand that government and systemically things aren't working for them the way that they should, and that there are candidates that are empowered to make those changes. And I think you can win. You guys, excited for your pod, excited to have had you on Higher Learning. You guys tell people once again where they can see it, how they can get in touch with y'all visually, audio-wise, all of that stuff.
Yes, clock it. New episodes drop every Thursday. First episode is out today. You can catch us literally wherever you get your podcast. You can also go on YouTube, ms.now/clockit. You can see the podcast there. And you can find Eugene and I on social media. I'm at Symone D. Sanders, Symone with a Y. Yes, Eugene, where are you?
Eugene Daniels 2, the number 2. I'm actually.
Why is there a 2?
Because I'm the second. And also Eugene Daniels was taken when I first went on Twitter the first time. But it works out.
So you're not junior, you the second?
My dad was very clear he did not want a junior. I think he hated somebody growing up named Junior. And so I had to be the second.
Wow.
Van's a junior.
I'm a junior.
Van's a junior. Symone, I want to hear housewives on the podcast. I want to hear you talk about housewives. Okay.
Housewives will be on the podcast. Yes. One could argue the controversy in Texas from the stem from social media is a scheme that Todd set up to get people to get Threads accounts. I don't know.
All right. We out of here, guys. Thank you for joining us. Symone, Cleo says hi.
I love Cleo. Yeah, Cleo told me that. She's like, "Do you know Van? He's from Louisiana." I said, "Do all y'all Louisiana people know each other?"
We got a network.
Pretty much.
We got a network.
I was at Cleo's house the other day. She got my life together. It's good to see y'all.
All right,
good to see y'all too.
Bye-bye,
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Rach. We haven't talked about Crockett and Talarico that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts as a Texan? I mean, how's this going? I'm seeing a lot of wounds being brought up. Like, people are like, this is identity politics 101. I meant what I said about Gary. Gary had a video where he talked about Keith Edwards coming on our podcast, and I thought the video was very, very useful. Everyone should watch it and follow and listen to Gary Chambers, because he talked about the fact that it is lazy to assume that black candidates can't win, particularly if you're not doing the work to turn out black voters and create the voter that you want to support you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about someone saying, "Oh, Jasmine Crockett can't win. Jasmine Crockett can't win statewide. This person can't win." Like, what are you doing? Are you taking a Gary Chambers or Stacey Abrams route to awaken those voters that might be either under incentivized because of different factors or a little apathetic to the whole process?
You're asking me if it's one of those two.
Well, that's a side thing. I'm asking you, do you see anything particularly alarming with how that race is going down there?
I guess it goes towards the question that I was asking Eugene, my fellow Texan, is that I know people were thinking a certain way, and I'm not agreeing with it, and we discussed it in our conversation. You guys heard about, saying this person is more likely to win. And I thought that his response was so great of like, why are you playing a game with it and not just voting on the person that you believe in, that you want to back, who aligns with your with certain policies and issues that you prioritize and that are important to you. It should be that at the end of the day, not you trying to say, well, this person has a better chance against this person. That's what it should be. And I felt like I was seeing a little of that. It has become, at least to the black people that I have spoken with, I feel a little bit more based in identity. I feel like people are apathetic and saying a Democrat's not going to win anyway, so I might as well vote for this person because I don't like the way that they're being portrayed and stereotyped in the media. And I think that that's problematic too. I do think that that's going on. And I think Symone pointed that out very well. That's absolutely happening. The misogynoir
There you go.
of it all. But yeah, I'm seeing people lean more to the identity and to wanting to protect, that I have spoken with, a very small group of people, wanting to protect Jasmine Crockett more than sticking to maybe the things that they were and what motivated them at the beginning of the race. It'll be interesting. I mean, I was trying to see right now what the polls are saying. I mean, they still have Jasmine, at least this one article from the Austin American Statesman has Jasmine Crockett leading by double digits over Jasmine Talarico when it comes to the...
James Talarico.
Sorry. What did I say?
Jasmine Talarico.
James Talarico when it comes to the Democratic primary.
Well, this is what I'll say. Once again, we invited James Talarico to come on the podcast and talk about what he said, allegedly said. I guess he admitted saying it.
He said it. Yeah, he pretty much said he said
it. We invited him to have the conversation. I don't know where they're going to have the conversation. If they don't have the conversation, they're cowards. And let me just say this. I don't believe right now that we should be using identity to shield politicians from accountability, or not even from accountability, but from investigation. I just said that to Symone and Eugene. I don't believe that we should be doing that. However, if throughout a primary, something is said or something happens that is either insensitive, racist, or just unwise even within the sphere of blackness, and we're talking about our relationship in coalition to black liberals, to white liberals, to white leftists, I've talked about this before. We talked about this with Summer Lee. The leftist frame is about class, and it's about the class fight.
Yeah.
And it's about true systemic change that could happen.
Yeah.
To really benefit the American worker. I'm with that. I'm with that, and I am decreasing almost every day in my racial essentialism. It just I'm broadening it out. However, it is fucking stupid. And I'll say this to all the leftists out there. It is fucking stupid. It's ridiculous to try to have a conversation with, be in solidarity with, move with or for Black Americans without considering the existence of Black Americans. It can't be done.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you guys right now, it can't be done. There's just not enough trust. The frustrating thing is the conversation is what establishes the trust. Like Platner or Talarico having the conversation earnestly with people that are going to investigate, interrogate the mistakes that they made. That is the thing that has to be done so that solidarity can exist. And if you look like you don't want to do it, it looks like you don't give a fuck about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't give a fuck about it, fuck you. I'm just being for real. If you don't care enough to even enter into the conversation, we could have a conversation and you could be like, all of this is a fucking distraction and it don't matter, none of that. But I truly feel like, and y'all can say what the fuck y'all want to say, if you say something that is racially insensitive and you won't even talk about it, you won't even address it in a way that to me is like robust, then you kind of saying fuck me and everything that my ancestors went through, because and it's very difficult for me, even as where I'm at politically right now, it's difficult for me to get past it. Because the way I look at it is this, and we move on after this. The way I look at it is this. My ancestors, they died so that I could use my voice at a time when using that voice is high leverage.
Yeah.
They died for that. If I don't use my voice in that time, I'm killing them again.
Agreed.
Like they died twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you don't think that after years and years and years of people getting fucked over so that I can say, hey, what did you mean by that? I hope you don't think I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not asking you to exist in any framework of guilt, but I'm saying when you open your hand, there got to be something with that. And I don't understand why people don't understand it. Like, I really don't. It's not about trying to book guests for the podcast. And I'm seriously asking the question once again. Talarico, in the situation, I am so unanimated by the actual race itself. I wish the best for her, always. I wish the best for him. You know what? No, I don't. I wish the best for the people. That's who I wish the best for. I don't give a fuck about her individual political career or his individual political career. I care about the people that are subject to power, political power in Texas and all throughout. And if she means the best for them, then it's her. If he means the best for them, then it's him. That is what I care about. But I just don't think that we're going to be able to get to a point of being able to build trust in these coalitions or even understanding if we can't have talks about this. And they want to politic it. Like they want to politic it. They want to try to politic their way out of this type of hurt, this type of misunderstanding, this type of victimization. You can't do that. You can only talk about it. Mm-hmm. And they don't really want to do it. It doesn't seem like that to me.
Mm-hmm. I think I do care about them as politicians, because I think that they're both bright, rising young stars within the party. And of course, I care about the people. But what I will say, and I think this is the really interesting thing, is more than just focusing on this race in particular and yes, turning Texas blue, I think that the way that this particular race is being handled is having people have a mirror and look at themselves as to what politically motivates them as voters. And I think, and that's kind of, I guess, what I was touching on with Eugene into how people are turning. And this goes on this comes from both sides of it. I guess more so when I say both sides, I mean within the party of the James versus Jasmine. It's what is your motivation for voting for Jasmine? I think those are real questions that you have to ask yourself if it's based on identity. And I think with James, that's the exact same question: is what is your motivation for him? Are you into voting for someone who just because they're a white male that you think is more easy for Texans to digest and has a better chance of beating Paxton or Cornyn, whoever might win that primary? Mm-hmm. I think that this race is going to make people really ask themselves, why do I vote for this person? Or you should be, at least. We should be asking ourselves that question. It goes deeper than black versus white, man versus woman. It's as a leftist or a liberal or a Democrat or however you want to say it, what is it that's motivating you? And it shouldn't be the two things that I named when it comes to James and Jasmine. It should be much deeper than that if the goal is to really get the things that we want from a system that is failing us.
Right. The things that we want and the things that we're entitled to. We're going to have a squatter conversation again. Okay, look, I want Julie K. Brown on the podcast to tell the story of Epstein. But we got to talk about the N-word is back. Donnie?
We just talked about it last week.
The N-word is back.
I did not see him, by the way.
Didn't see who?
Ted.
He wasn't there?
He might have been there, but he wasn't.
He apologized.
There when I was
he
there.
said sorry.
On a story, Instagram story, I saw.
Yeah, he said. Then they was put. Apparently, Ted loved the N-word because he was on a flag football game, something else. He was getting busy with it.
After the apology?
No, this is before.
Okay. Well, we knew he loved it before, and he still.
Oh, did you see that Drake followed Trump? Is that true? Hey, somebody look that up and see if that's true. It looked like Drake followed Trump. Logan was into that.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I didn't even.
Logan
I did see that Drake followed
Logan,
Trump.
big Drake fan.
No, he's not.
You don't like Drake?
I don't know the man.
Do you like his music?
I know.
Well, it's not wrong to be a Drake fan.
I don't know none of these dudes.
Hey, Jade. Okay, let's take a Bernard. You fuck with Drake?
I like his older music.
You like his older music? You like
older music?
Yeah, like Drake. It's not like why is it?
9 a.m. in Dallas is one of the most formidable moments in my life.
Yeah, Kendrick's now. It's binary. Well, can you like to everybody like on the mic? Can all y'all are younger? Can you be a fan of both Drake and Kendrick?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you can be a fan of both Drake and Kendrick. Is the Drake following Trump shit true, or is that like erroneous in some sort of way?
He's not following.
He's not following Trump.
Well, was he? And did he delete it after the backlash?
Some people were saying that Drake,
but currently no,
maybe became a Trump supporter or something like that, and then some people were saying this is. That could be propaganda that's put out there. There's nothing wrong with being a Drake fan and a Kendrick fan.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I like both of their music.
Right. Okay.
What's your favorite Drake song?
My favorite Drake song?
No, yeah, both of y'all. What's your favorite Drake songs?
Shit.
That says a lot about you.
My favorite Drake song is probably like Paris More Music.
Oh, you was simping then, huh?
Yeah,
he was out there doing some real life simping.
That's but he rapping on that bitch.
He was rapping.
Drake used to be rapping, man. He's rapping on that bitch. Like Drake, get busy. But
Rachel, what's your favorite Drake
culture?
Song?
The Culture Wars.
I don't know. I don't know if I have one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
I got some. 9 a.m. in Dallas is great.
9 a.m. in Dallas.
9 a.m. in Dallas is good. What's this?
What else? What was I like? Club Paradise was a really good song. Like a lot of Lucy's I like. Yeah, man. Drake got me through some real emotional times in the 2010, 2011 era, like right after high school. So,
that's tough.
You know,
got you through some times.
Got you through some times. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Doc got me through some times too, right? Like ADHD was like also around that
music
time.
there to me is legendary.
You know,
like all of that shit is legendary, man. All of that shit, like that shit is legendary, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Like ADHD, Section 80,
High Power,
like High Power, man. Rigor Mortis, bruh. Like all of them records, like that shit is legendary. Like you listen to that music, and as soon as you hear the music, you're like, "Oh, this nigga different."
Bro,
I'm just being for real. And you know what's funny? is you felt the same. You felt the same way with So Far Gone. Really, you listen to So Far Gone, Lust for Life come on. Drake is rapping, and then he starts singing in the middle of the bar. You're like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? And you're like, oh, I kind of fuck with this a little bit, right? Yeah. So like, but like, you know, I listen to Kendrick and all of this stuff.
Oh, no. Money Trees. Forgot another one on So Far Gone.
Money Trees is my favorite Kendrick song.
This is legendary.
Can we talk about one more Drake song that was really
what song? What talk about Drake?
Successful.
Oh, you fuck with that?
What?
Yeah, you love that record.
You don't like Successful?
I do love it.
It didn't move me like that.
How old were you? So never mind. I'll never ask a black woman how old she is. How old?
I was in like law school when that came out.
Oh, y'all wasn't really. Yeah, y'all wasn't in like the trenches.
No, I remember it was like a big deal.
We're gonna have to do a whole podcast about these rappers too.
Let's do it.
These rappers is. I don't know, man. I don't know where we stand with these rappers.
I like that Logan said.
No,
I like that Logan said.
Jade is a rapper.
Wait, I like that you said we got to have a conversation about these rappers on this podcast. Logan goes, let's do it. Yeah. Logan already done deemed himself in the seat to have
Logan ready. Logan part
conversation.
Logan
let's do
whenever he in town.
Let's do it.
Whenever he in town. We gotta talk. Jade, you know what, Jade?
Yeah, Jade, you need to get in on this.
Jade is a rapper. Since you are a rapper, we have to have a conversation. Because listen, I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, but I do have a thought. And I'm crystallizing this thought, trying to get it. The whole time that we thought that it was hip hop against the white American power structure, we might have been wrong. It might have been hip hop against everyone. Hip hop might be an entity that actually only serves hip hop. And I know that that's difficult, but the more I see all of this stuff, man, it's getting tough. She says
she doesn't agree.
I know, and that's why, and I could be wrong. That's why I'm saying but you gonna have to represent rappers.
We'll have the conversation.
Yeah, you gonna have to represent rappers, and I know the history, I know everything that hip hop has been involved in, and all of this stuff. But goddamn, man, it seemed like, especially right now, every time we just need somebody to be like, fuck ICE. They go to the Michael Rubin party.
Why does it always come back there?
It's like, I'm just saying, bro. It just seems like we in a moment to where we really.
Gavin Newsom was there.
All right, man.
A lot of politicians were outside during Super Bowl
bet they
weekend.
were, bro. And shout out to everybody having a good time. I'm no better than anyone. I swear to God, I be watching porn. But so I'm
come on, bro.
I'm no better than no one. I promise you, I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying that, like, could we do the whole thing? Could we do I gotta get my money and black people need help and fuck ICE? Can't we do it all together? Can we do the whole thing? You know? It seems like at one time we thought that was a part of it, and now it's different.
I mean, Cardi B just said F ICE on her last concert.
Love it.
She did on her show.
Yeah. Love it.
In her latest show.
But like, I think it's time for us to maybe have a conversation with hip hop. And
I think I'm gonna just say this. I think the conversation is kind of already happening right now, right? I think the biggest the conversation is happening. I think the biggest thing that's happening right now with hip hop is that it's just going through this transformation right now. It's not necessarily seen on the charts, but hip hop is basically what the community is talking about at a given moment in time, right? And it goes in waves, right? You got the shiny shoe era, and that gives way to another era, which births like Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, and then they flourish and they get hella corporate, and then the system breaks down and it comes back up. Like, that's just how it goes. It's a cyclical thing right now.
This is what I mean. We move on to apology rating. We end the show. This is what I mean, though. So, and once again, I haven't really thought this out in a real way about what I actually mean.
Okay.
So when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s, there was an understanding of a couple of things. Number one, it was hard to be a young black male in society. I'm saying young black male because that was the focus of the ire of hip hop at that time. Nobody was coming out and going like, we got to stop Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is one of the greatest rappers ever. But no one was coming out and saying what the question was, these particularly young men from these places and how their visions and views of where they come from, how that was going to influence American youth and whether or not that was going to incept something into American youth. And culturally, there were people who spoke out, right? Like C. Dolores Tucker, Calvin Butts, all these people like that the rappers was going against them. But culturally, we protected them. We protected them, number one, because, we know the choice matrix that young brothers have in the community. And we know that there's a lot of good brothers out there doing things that are not great. Mm-hmm. And we not trying to throw them away. And we really not. We not trying to throw them away. I'm not trying to throw them away now. We get that. But there might have been something that happened. Our really well-meaning and sincere want to protect them might have done the same thing that I'm talking about was done for these politicians. It might have insulated them from actually feeling like they owe anything at all. It might have made it about, well, I can say anything, do anything, act anyway, be completely amongst my own and not be a part of whatever y'all niggas got going on. Mm-hmm. Because that is my right and I deserve that. And I came from a fucked up place, so I deserve all the trappings of my wealth and fame and all of that stuff like that. And so by the time we got to a conversation about trying to have, community with people who we've empowered like that, then it was kind of like, you can't do anything to stop my art. You can't do anything to stop my expression. Now you're just like the white people in the 90s that was telling me what I should and should not say. Mm-hmm. I'm not ever trying to tell a rapper what they should and should not say. But if we are in community with one another, shouldn't we be able to talk about what we should and should not do? Is that okay? Because I'm willing to have that conversation about me all the time. People like give me some tighten up. So shouldn't we be able to have a conversation about, in this situation right now, why Kanye became a Nazi, Nicki Minaj became a puppet, why all of this stuff, all of these guys are vaguely fucking with this administration that is like overtly authoritarian, and you can't tell them nothing. Like you can't, right. You literally just trying to have a conversation. You can't tell them nothing because they don't fucking feel like they owe you anything. They owe each other, but not anything to the wider community that gave them these big cultural weapons. I don't really know. I'm an old nigga. I'm old. That is what this conversation is actually about. I am old.
Okay. We should be able to have these conversations, and it should be a bigger conversation. We talked about this on the podcast before. It has nothing to do with you being old. It's with you caring. That's really old. What it comes down to.
I'm old. You know what? But, you know what? Hey, you know
can
what?
we get to
yeah, we gotta do it. Hey, y'all, you know what? Y'all, fuck that shit. Y'all niggas don't listen to that. Man, fuck that shit. You know?
What?
Like, the fuck what I'm talking about. Old ass
Donnie, 2 hours.
Fuck that nigga.
Can we get step in? All right, HGTV's Rehab Addicts has officially been canceled after its host, Nicole Curtis, was caught using a racial slur in a brand new way. Let's hear it.
It's my last one. Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Nick, you gotta, can you kill that? No, I know 35 minutes. I can't kill it. Oh, fuck my life.
Publicity stunt. Rachel, go ahead.
She lost her show. So what's the publicity stunt?
It's a publicity stunt. I don't see how this happened.
Okay, if it is a publicity stunt, then how did she benefit from this? Help me understand.
Publicity stunt. I don't know what happened.
So you don't have a reason as to how this.
Where's the video? How did this video get out?
Dun, dun, dun.
I guess it was a behind this. I guess it was. How do other videos get out?
What I'm asking is, did somebody?
It's from Radar. Radar exclusively obtained this footage.
Oh, so Radar got the footage.
Yeah,
so somebody taped it. Okay.
It was taped, and she said, cut it. What did you think? Why did you think it was a publicity stunt?
Because I do think that there's some currency right now in saying the N-word.
Listen, if she wants a whole career path change, fine. If she wants to be like old girl who was on TikTok and was saying the N-word and like repeating on it, and then she's on Pierce Morgan and whatever, and all that stuff, that didn't work out so well for her. It would be hard for me to imagine that this woman who's on HGTV, Rehab Addicts, I don't know how many seasons the show's been on. I guess it's a popular show there. It's been on for several seasons. The host of the show, to throw it all away over this, I find that hard to believe. I mean, they canceled it. As they should in response to her. I've never even heard those two words together before.
Interesting.
Have you?
No, I mean, once again, yeah, no.
That sounds like a term that she says all the time because I've never heard that before. Like, I guess you still think it's a publicity stunt? I'm trying to understand the benefit of it.
I mean, I honestly, I'm starting to get skeptical about all of this shit. Okay, I think what Tet did was a publicity stunt.
How?
He's on streaming using the N-word.
Doesn't that happen? I'm not a streamer, but don't people do that on the game all the time? He's not the first, will be the last.
I understand
that says it.
What I'm saying is that, like, okay, let me tell you why, and then
this is a conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy theory, but sometimes, having worked in this area or arena, people do scandalous shit to like generate headlines.
Of course.
Yeah. Now with her, it is very true that she lost her show. Maybe she didn't think that was gonna happen. I never heard of her till now.
Yeah, we don't watch that kind of stuff.
So like so to me, stuff like this sometimes, to me, maybe not this, maybe I could be wrong. Once again, I'm wrong a lot. Maybe this is not that, but I don't know, man. Just fart nigger, the way she said it, it seemed like some shit that she wanted. I don't know, man.
It doesn't seem like she wanted it. Listen, this is what I took from this. Don't know her, never heard of her. Not even gonna make do the research to really understand who Nicole Curtis is. She could be walking down the street from here on out. I'm never going to know who she is. I don't watch the show Rehab Addict. I don't agree with you that this is a publicity stunt. And to use your phrase, and I'll tell you why. Immediately after she said it, she asked them to cut it. Mm-hmm. She asked them if they could get rid of this footage. That tells me right there, and the terminology that she used, fart nigger. I've never heard those two words together. And her immediate response wasn't, oh my God, I'm so sorry I said that. I can't believe it. I apologize to everybody in the room. It was, can we kill that? Can we get rid of that? Can we cover it up? So one, she uses this term all the time. She uses this term. She has put those two words together. It is a part of her vocabulary. It is a part of her being of who she is. Two, her immediate thought was, how do I cover this up so nobody can see the type of person that I really am? And that did not work well for her. We now know who she is. We now know what she's about, and she now lost her job. I don't give you. She has she posted an apology she sent to TMZ. It's 3 paragraphs. I don't care. That's where I am with this N-words. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. You're not sorry. I think you'll say it again. You say it. You're sorry until you got caught. You're sorry for the 15 seconds that we have to acknowledge your apology, and then you're right back to where you were before. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. You say it's a publicity stunt. I wouldn't be shocked then if she has a YouTube show called Fart Nigger. I'm
telling you, I think the N-word could be looked at as the new leaking your nudes. Something that you do when you want to look edgy, when you want people to talk about you. This is stuff that I know about. I could be wrong about this.
Name one person who's said the N-word in us and then has built. It was so edgy and so provocative, and it gets the people going that they have success from this.
Lily Gaddis.
That's who I was talking about. She hasn't, though.
But what
Didn't she renege and like now she regrets it all?
Well, what I'm saying is she reneged.
Keyword.
She nigged and then she reneged. You can only nig once, really. You can't renege, okay?
Yeah,
like, if you go nig,
she's on back.
Nig, well, I don't like if you go nig, just a nig.
She was popular for literally 15 minutes.
But what I'm saying is that like now this whole conversation, edgy bullshit, whatever the fuck. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care that much about this. I did come up with several songs. That surrounded this.
Okay.
Because there's a song with No Limit called Swamp Nigga.
Oh, okay.
And you could just change it to Fart Nigga.
Okay.
It's very funny.
Okay.
I fucking laughed about it. I was this morning in the shower. I almost couldn't finish because finish the shower because I'm in there.
Yeah, I was like, finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Please, this you were talking about. Like I need you to complete that sentence.
Soap, but it's funny.
You like the term?
No, I don't.
You like it.
I don't like it.
You like it.
It's funny though.
It's funny to you.
It is. So first of all,
what does it mean?
I have no idea.
What does it mean?
I'm not about to get up and be mad about this though, because like
I'm not bad.
Whatever,
I'm annoyed.
Happens,
I'm annoyed by this.
It's like I'm not. It's not that I'm.
You don't
saying,
care.
I'll be honest. I don't care. I don't care.
Let them all say it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying let them all say it. I'm not saying that. You say it, you got to get your ass kicked. We got to maintain guardrails. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I saw this and I was like, she's fucked. And then I was thinking, did she do that on purpose? But you've made the point. Maybe she didn't do it on purpose.
It's not going to go well for her.
You don't think that she's like, now, okay, this is what we'll do.
If she did a GoFundMe, yeah, she'll get money.
That's fair. It's two different people between her and Lily. This is what we'll do. What we'll do is we'll watch to see how the fart nigger saga plays itself out.
We're on fart nigger watch.
Right? And so if she ends up, getting a 3-picture deal, a 3-season order on Fox Nation, the fart nigger rehab show.
Let me go to her page.
If she ends up really coming up from it, if she does the whole circuit, if she on Good Morning America, and if she on Hannity, if she sits down with Megyn Kelly, if she does all of this stuff, I'm going to start to think that I was right about the entire fart nigger situation.
Okay.
That's how it's going to look to me if she does a whole press run off of it. But if she just like gets low.
Oh, she turned her comments off.
I
was thinking about writing it on one of her
How many
pages.
followers does she have?
328,000.
Oh, so she's not even popping like that, man. She definitely did it on purpose.
She turned her comments off.
Shout out to.
She don't even want people. She wants. Let's just forget. I really was gonna write fart nigger on her page.
Send her a DM. Send her a fart nigger DM. Everybody DM her fart nigger. If you listen to the podcast right now, what's her at?
Detroit Design.
Detroit Design? At Detroit Design. Everybody right now, send her a DM and just say fart nigger. Just see it. Let her know that she's got to see us. She can't erase us. Okay? She's got to see us. All right. Apology rating for her. She apologized. What you got?
We're doing that?
She said.
It's a 0.
0? How would you like her? Be her and give the right apology for fart nigger. Like, what would you do?
That one's tough. Okay. Because she clearly is like, can we kill it?
Right.
I guess I would say, no, I'm not going to give them anything.
Just give her,
no.
Like, Rachel, see, this is the thing.
No, I don't want to tell her what you should. Like, imagine if somebody says and they use my apology. I'm not trying to help you out. You're not sorry. I'm not going to help you be sorry. I'm not going to help you find your way.
What would she do? This is apology. Regarding HGTV, I'm grateful. Oh, my bad. There's more to this, but my family, fuck it. What could be more?
Where did she say there's more to this?
She says there's more to this, but my family comes first, and I need to be mom right now more than anything else. I will take the time, as I always have been with you, transparent and honest. TMZ called me as I had just turned my phone on after being at school, and I said this briefly, but there is more. What she's going to say is that there's somebody on the production that doesn't like her, or that the show is out to get her. HGTV, maybe she beefing with the people in Waco because they got their own show. Maybe it's beef. What about them? They're going to say it pretty soon.
What are their names again?
I like them, actually.
No,
they.
What are their names? I forget. Oh, my God. Chip and Joanna.
Chip and Joanna from Waco?
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
I don't know. I don't really follow this world. But no, what she'll come out and say is, you guys didn't see the whole video. You didn't see the part where I was profusely apologizing and I was begging them, like, don't put this out there because this could hurt so many people. This isn't a representation. But you missed the part where I was crying and I was so upset. Because in that video, somebody's laughing in the background. And she's kind of smiling. She's like, did I just say that? Yeah, bitch, you said that.
Oh, wow.
And you've said it again.
Okay, you trying to throw hands.
Fart nigger.
Fart niggers. I will say this. This makes me think about her N-word count.
What is it?
And if she's just saying fart nigger, just like that, like when she think about just saying the word nigger when you do something like.
Yeah, that's in her vocabulary.
Yeah, you just bang your foot, fart nigger, or you just like fart nigger. That tells me that she's in the Mark Wahlberg Hall of Fame.
She used it as a what? An adjective?
Yeah. So you know what we're gonna call it? If somebody's in the Mark Wahlberg Hall of Fame, we're going to say that they are amongst the Departed. That's the name of that shit. They the Departed. She's in the Departed.
She's
with
in
Mark
the Departed.
Wahlberg and, other Nick Kid Rock in that bitch. Like, there's a lot of people that's probably up there in that situation. So, good for her. Nicole Curtis. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to watch the story. Donnie, we're going to continue to watch this story?
I'm out of it, but y'all can keep watching it.
Logan.
Yes.
Tell people they can find you.
You can find me twice a week on Real Ones on the Ringer NBA show, Tuesday and Friday.
All right.
You can find me at the LA Convention Center on Saturday if you want to say what's up. And you might be able to find me at a Van Illuminati party on Friday.
It's not
I'm kind of scared. I'm not going to lie, but
Carl Cherry invited me to the party. It's like
I don't know
it's a
that
Spotify. Carl Cherry, he the music guy. He runs
okay.
I introduced you to Carl Cherry, yeah.
Okay.
That was something different.
Illuminati nonetheless.
He run
Yeah.
rap. Carl
didn't invite me, but that's okay. I didn't know his name, so that's fair.
You don't even remember who he was.
I knew him by face.
You know him by face.
I know my face. Guys, last day to vote for the NAACP Image Awards. Nominated 4 times.
Hell no.
This is our year. This is it. Help us make it happen. If you've already voted, If you've already voted, send it off to somebody else. Get them to vote. I think we deserve it. We're proud of what we do here. Don is in our category.
Don gonna win, man.
Never mind. I didn't realize he's in 2 categories though, I think. But Don is a martyr. Don he's gonna win.
Don gonna get up there
he has a speech already ready. Call him and ask him if he has a speech ready.
I would be surprised.
Call him and ask
Let's
him.
see if Don answers the phone.
Call him and see if he has his.
If they didn't just give the award to Don.
Tell him we're in the same category and ask him if he already has his speech ready.
Yeah, I think Don know what's up. Don gonna win, man. Don gonna win. And and you guys, what the fuck? You gotta, let's see if he answered the phone. Let's see if we can get Don Lemon to pick up the phone.
This the most.
It's ringing. Hell nah. Nope.
Sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Crazy.
Tom, he's swerving you.
Crazy, man.
You notice I make you call and not me.
Crazy. Oh, I got a text though. Let's see. Oh, can I call you later? Yes, Don. Yes. Don fucking Lemon. Yes, he acknowledged the call. Don Lemon. You guys, seriously, all jokes aside, I'm going to say this before we go. I'm very proud of what Don Lemon has been able to do.
Of course.
Okay. Like, very proud of the fact that Don Lemon, that journalism that you guys saw in that church, no matter what the fuck the administration says, is some of the best journalism I've seen going in there covering stories like that, reinventing himself, owning it, doing this whole thing is worth everything that he's getting, We from 2 different worlds, from Baton Rouge, but still from 2 different worlds. The hoodie and the suit, it's 2 different things, but at the same time, I got a lot of respect for the way he's comported himself when he's been under attack by the administration. Okay, we out of here. Thanks to Logan, thanks to Donnie, thanks to CT, thanks to Jade, thanks to Bernard. Take your thinking caps off, but do not stop learning. I'm Van Lathan Jr.
And I'm Rachel and Lindsay. Bye, guys.